right there beside you on the thing.
You gotta be like nobody. She's so smart.
Are we ready?
We all
I think we are. I hear something.
Are we live?
We live? Hey.
Are we live for real?
Y'all can hear us?
Payne, can I hear for real?
Yeah.
Hey,
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Walking with Walk podcast. We took a little break last week to allow y'all some time to catch up from episodes 1 through 7. We decided to bring somebody's children back to the set for Teen Talk 2.
And I'm hers.
One of mine, I claim was her days out the week. I don't know. They say she looked like me, but I've been feeding her for 18 years, so what the hell you expect? But we just wanted to welcome everybody back. Hope you guys had a great spring break. Those who celebrate birthdays, mainly me. I don't know about nobody else in the group. You know what I'm saying? We did our thing. And here we go. We got Mr. Awaken, the genius, the realest, motivated, eternal educator, Mr. Dr. Reverend Martin Luther Walker. We got Coco. We got Robbie. We got Eli. We got Tyrese. We got Gerald Payne behind the scenes. And we are here to talk to you guys tonight. Well, they here to talk to you guys tonight about peer pressure. So we hope that you all have your sons, your daughters, those of teenage age, just to break the ice. If you've never had a chance to really and truly crack the skull, so to speak, of what your children are thinking or what they're dealing with, what they have been dealing with, this is what Teen Talk is about. So I'm getting ready to turn it over to them because Walt got this popcorn over here on this floor. They got my name on it. They ain't ate nothing all day.
Yeah, I gotta make sure we got Payne ready because Payne know what I need him to do before I throw the popcorn in the air.
What
I need you to do, Payne.
I need you to do what you
Payne,
do.
well, y'all know what I need him to do, right? We gotta have a pink cakery going across there when I get ready. Gotta have pink cakery up there. So hey, y'all, shout out to the pink cakery coming out with the Oreo popcorn, y'all. So if anybody interested in Oreo popcorn, there it is right there. You gotta have it, baby. Hey, when I tell you, this is like crack right here, man. These popcorn are so good.
I mean,
I had
whoa. After we know.
Now, hey, well, we talking about drugs tonight, so we don't know what crack.
It's
Like crack. That's a simile right there. Yeah. That's a simile. Now that like. Yeah, that's a simile. Now, you know, you're trying to check me on the simile metaphor.
Wait a minute, that means he actually paid attention in class.
No, but I was right.
I know, but
right.
you know.
Like,
So
you
he
didn't
must
pay
be-
attention in class.
Hey, who's doing drugs? Who's doing drugs?
I'm
Don't
tired.
say like whose topic is that? Hey y'all, so let me make sure we get this disclaimer out there. In case we got any parents listening in, I said the Oreo popcorn was like crack. Cause you just walked in the room on that boy right there, heard that talking about crack. I know some of y'all be looking at like, yeah, Miss Walker, he have been losing weight lately, you know what I'm saying? So he could be on that thing. No, but y'all know when brothers lose too much weight, that's the first thing we think, right, bro?
Anybody lose too much weight. When your head become bigger than the rest of your body and it start leaning forward.
Yeah.
That's problem.
So y'all, we got some hot stuff going on tonight, man. We got we're talking about sex, we're talking about sexuality, we're talking about drugs, we're talking about double standards, homophobia, we're talking about banging in the hood, we're talking about quick money, kicking doors, being hot boxing the whole 9 yards. So if you are listening to this and you do not have your son or daughter next hot boxing, but you never ever know they could just be riding down the street on the block, hot boxing. And if you've been watching what's been going on over the last couple of weeks, it's getting crazy out here. So if the police will spray a soldier in his uniform, which is going to be our next topic, we're going to talk about police brutality. That has to be the next one on the Walk with Walk. But I want that to kind of be a segue into what these young folks getting ready to talk about, because imagine if you are one of us, and I know we talked about it on our private group talk the other day, and we are on the south side, and the police has already just killed this kid. She thought it was a taser. So what happens when one of our kids, y'all see how we're going to segue into this? What happens when one of our kids are in the car, and the only thing they, let's say they've been smoking weed. Let's keep it 100, because it's not like the only people who smoke weed live on the south of I-20. Because Coco is going to give us some breakdown today, and we might not call our school,
I
but...
thought you been saying you Coco been smoking weed.
Well, that's a whole nother topic right there, y'all. That's a whole nother topic, y'all. We won't allow anybody to do child abuse online, but it looks like you get ready to go ham. So do y'all see why sometimes we might have ask Miss Bourne think not to be on the show? Ella look like she about to start whooping some butt right here on the show
I mean,
tonight.
listen, if the shoe fits, I damn sure gonna wear.
But if she having to say, I ain't gonna lie.
A little too old.
I just hit that thing, but I just talked a little bit before I came in here.
I ain't gonna do nothing on camera.
Okay, hey y'all heard it here first. We will not allow anything to go on in this space right here.
You gotta get it.
Hey, don't worry about Coco. We're gonna let Sonny Boy if she try to get it. We gonna run past Coco. I thought you said that no, dog. There's a Rottweiler behind both of them, right? Hey y'all, we about to turn it over to the team right here, man. We got a hot show tonight, man. Please share this thing, man. Like this thing. Make sure you comment. If you got a friend out there, adults, and they have a teenager or someone in middle school who's a preteen, they need to be watching this tonight. So hit that share, hit that like. We're gonna turn it over to the young people right now, man. So with no further ado, welcome, man, to Walking with Walt Teen Talk and the Crew. What y'all do?
We got y'all a whole new intro, didn't
Put us in so we could have did it too. Like,
Hey man, we're gonna do that. We're gonna done that thing, man. Like grab some people, you gonna make ready to break that thing, man. Hey, this is a world premiere right here, y'all. Welcome to Walk Teen Talk with the Crew. Hey y'all, and everybody is on that thing right there. Nobody is up there in Cloud 9 right now, y'all. Even though we talk, so let's do what we do.
You got it, dude.
I caught it.
Okay.
Let's go, man. So hey, look, take us. Y'all want to go? Y'all want to start talking about sex?
Talk about sex.
Oh.
Can we talk about when we started, like when
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
when y'all feel
Oh yeah,
pressure
when y'all
actually
like,
started?
Oh,
Like in middle school, y'all feel peer pressure started.
I can speak on that. Oh no, I'm just saying. I was, you know how you think. I don't know.
It sounded good.
Yeah.
Let me see. For me, chill out. For me, my peer pressure started. I would say when I first moved over to the west side, so around 6th grade, when I was in Harper Archer Middle School. That's not even a school no more. So yeah, that's when it really started. Because I was input inside a new environment. It was around people I really didn't know like that. I had some family members and stuff, but they grew up different than what I did. So the stuff they was doing, like whatever was normal to them, wasn't normal to me. So it's like when I went to that school, it was like, okay, everybody in that community been doing that. So it's like I had to make a decision if I wanted to fit in or like what I just wanted to like keep my individuality in a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying?
And that's in middle school.
Yeah, that was in 6th grade, like freshman middle school. So yeah, that's when I can say like I fell victim to it like at one point because I was acting out and stuff like that. But other than that, once I transferred to another school, I really found myself the person I was really meant to be.
So how did you like being so young, how did you recover though? Cause like I tell people all the time, once you leave elementary school, parents, it's almost like parents, they rock with their kids all the way up to 5th grade.
Yeah.
And once they drop them off at 6th grade, those are like the most important years. They leave them to be educated by their 12, 13, 14-year-old homeboy and girl. Yeah, they'll be walking.
I think what's it called though? I think it's like partly our fault too though. I think I feel like those the years where we be like we independent,
right.
Or you know what I'm saying?
I know everything. Now 13.
Yeah, like you feel like you got it all together. You be like, nah, I'm good. I ain't in elementary no more. I can walk to the school by myself, or you know what I'm saying. So I feel like it's partially our fault as well.
But to answer your question, it was like I said, like at the school Harper, everybody in the school was doing the same thing. But when I transferred to another school, you had a whole nother set of students that were doing a whole different thing. Mm-hmm. So it was like no group of students kind of fit. Like I kind of fit in better with them. Like even though they were doing good stuff, you still had them individuals who were still doing, stuff doing in other communities and stuff. So it was like I could really say like the people I hung around, stuff like that. So yeah, that kind of answered the question.
Good stuff.
So yeah.
Anybody else, man? When the peer pressure stuff?
I started feeling peer pressure since I was like little, elementary school. It wasn't nothing major. It was like throwing rocks. You know how little kids be throwing rocks. Knocking out the zone, stuff like that. I mean, it's nothing major, but at the same time, not the right thing. And like going towards middle school, high school, you start to skip class, stuff like that. Not something that I did. I knew
you
that.
did. You just confessed. Mama, he's sorry.
It's all right. Be like that sometimes. But yeah, like skipping class, going to class late, not necessarily skipping.
So what is it? Being that we work in the school, no, I just want to ask, like, I've always been kind of confused, like, why in the hell would you skip class and hang out on campus? You know, like when we said we gonna skip, to me it just kind of bothered me. Like, if
When
I
I
skip
started
school,
skipping, I went on campus.
yeah, so
I can admit to when I skipped, she knew. But I skip another teacher class.
Wait a minute,
But
that don't look good on me.
No,
Wait a
no,
minute.
we don't just be doing all these abbreviations.
She ain't approved of it, but I said I wasn't going back to that class.
But here's my question though, Cole. But this is the question though. Why do students skip school and hang out at the school?
I think sometimes it be like a class, like
Right.
if
It's
I don't want to go to
one
second
class.
period, but I want to go to third, like I'm gonna go to.
I be just that one teacher.
Okay.
It won't be
Even as an adult, you know, it's people that we work with that you wouldn't fool with on a regular day. So we wouldn't fool with them as adults, because that was a lot of times that was her situation.
Yeah.
I know her mouth.
Yeah.
That mouth get real jazzy.
Okay.
So when it's like, okay, I can't deal with her, we bumping heads, and it got to the point the teacher was like, okay, she got to work, she gone to the other classroom.
So long as you're doing your work.
But
you
Yeah, I
good.
would go get my
skipping
work,
and
but
that
I
we
want to
talking about,
stand and
ain't
they
that skipping.
Yeah, because it's not just like a calculated skip. You know what I'm saying? Like you stop by
Like, y'all-
the Robinson room,
You
pick up a
skip
work
school
for the day.
and you gonna sit on the roof of the building.
Yeah. Or you behind the school in the woods, up in the cut, rolling up some
Right.
but you gonna come back in
Like
and
you
eat
ain't
lunch.
gonna smell it when you come back
Yeah.
in though.
So did that start at the middle school level? I mean, either one of y'all did they like the marijuana? Because now we're transitioning into like
I think so. I think folks like most people, whoever smoked, I think it was like middle school. I think so.
Robbie shaking his head.
I was just.
No.
Robert like elementary school for me. It popped up in 3rd grade, but
Robbie, I'm gonna start calling you Usher because you your professor tonight.
are you gonna confess some stuff out? So we gotta say that. We want to say that. You know, middle school, most parents thinking that people are smoking when they get to high school, so are they
I think
jumping
it's like
out?
7th, 8th grade.
I
I don't
was
think
like,
it's 6.
Nah,
I think
it's like 6.
By six,
about
it's
six.
started younger.
Yeah, Jared, we about to get the one. Jared, hey, feel free to jump. I know you're taking photos, Jared, but feel free to jump in this thing right here.
I ain't camera shy.
So we said, hey man, jump out here now, pick the camera back up.
I'm gonna do a few more, then I'm gonna jump.
Okay, cool.
But I say 7th to 8th grade. But you know, 6th grade, you still coming in, you trying to figure out. But 7th to 8th grade is when they was like
All the
skipping
way.
for real.
Yeah, they
It was
was.
like, hey bro, here you go.
They know how to grab their own blunt and everything.
Yeah,
by
that's
sixth
what it
grade.
is.
6th grade, you get boot
Some,
camp.
depending on your area, some of
That's
these
what I
elementary
said.
school kids be on the
Fact.
Because back here, I can hear them saying, so go
Kids on the area, like,
Now, I said depending on
right, I know
your
that's
area.
what I'm agreeing, but like where I was, like I'm telling you, like
when they get to the elementary school.
man, like okay, we said we're gonna start off by sex, right? That was happening elementary, like our kids.
Yeah.
Sex?
Yeah.
Hey man, y'all better tune in. Y'all better share this thing. I want to make sure they heard what you just said, bro. I need these folks to share this thing. He just said they started having, not him personally, but he said the people were actually having sex in elementary school. Yeah, I want to make sure we put that up.
Yeah, they put that up. It wasn't me. I promise it wasn't. But like,
Yeah, I do know.
Wait, what's
some
like
elementary
5th grade?
schools
Like, what's
that
the
have
Fifth grade is elementary, about 11 years old.
that.
Yeah, it'd be like, yeah.
be youngins, like
How? This is my question. You don't know nothing about that.
But you hear it.
They do, yeah.
You hear it. Like, imagine us having a conversation about it and like somebody at the park listening. He like, oh, I'm about to go try that. Like, it sound like this
It
way.
ain't that deep for me.
Yeah, not for
That's
you.
why we got to see you. Because it might not be like deep for you, but they let you know it's deeper than what you think it is.
Clearly.
Well, if y'all had to say like on a percentage though, like, because we don't want everybody to get nervous and start feeling like every kid in elementary school crunk, but we're basically saying, if I'm hearing you guys right, we need to start having that conversation a little earlier than
Yeah.
middle school.
I
Like
think,
some people.
I think like y'all had like sex education. That was like 8th grade, right?
I
I think it
had
was 8th grade.
Yeah.
They need to have it like 40.
We didn't have sex education when I was in school.
We didn't have it as a class. They just had people come in and talk to us.
Yeah, it was like
Ninth
people
grade.
coming in.
It was a part of health.
Right.
They would bring in people. Now I do remember having that.
Oh well, when I was in high school, I was an athlete, so I don't even know if I took it. I took weightlifting every year. I took weightlifting 4 blocks, and I know class. So if you go back and pull up a transcript, you won't see no health class on my transcript. Everybody knew you want athletes, kind of like you guys know this stuff right here. You hit that weightlifting 4th period or 6th period, whatever we had or whatnot. Every athlete, cheerleader too, everybody was in there because we knew if we had a game or something on Friday, it didn't interrupt us missing anybody's class. So all the athletes was just already be in the gym. We load the bus up and we out. You know what I mean? So I just think that is so important because even in the state of Georgia, I want you guys to comment on this as well. And Ms. Robinson, you see this. If kids are having sex in middle school, and now I'm finding out, that it might be more common than we know for kids to be having sex in elementary school. All of you guys, do y'all know that that's statutory rape? Even if you guys are 15 and y'all in, freshmen in high school, in the state of Georgia, you are not able to consent legally until you're 17, right? Or 16? I thought it was 17.
16.
They trying to drop it to 15.
You're adult at 17, but you're able to consent at 16. Hey man, let me Google that. Let me Google that just in case, y'all, because what we're saying in a nutshell, where we're laughing about it and joking about it, just to talk about a serious conversation. If you got 2 middle school kids having sex and one parent decides she wants to go and have that person prosecuted, they could be registered as a child sex offender. And I didn't know this. Y'all tell me if y'all knew about this right here. It was especially to you guys because y'all got prom coming up and all this stuff. So imagine if you're going to prom with somebody and the girl lied about her age. Her mom or whoever, don't know that she's going to prom. She just went to her cousin's house for the weekend. You have sex. They catch you at a hotel or something like that. She's under 16 years old. You have to register as a child molester. So did y'all know that?
Yeah, I knew that.
And they're gonna say English is no excuse for for the law in Georgia. If you don't know that, English is no excuse.
So it says in the state of Georgia, the age of consent is 16, and the minimum age of a victim is 16.
I didn't get the second part.
So the minimum age of a victim is 16. That part. So you saying if I'm under 16?
So if I get
If you
raped,
Wait,
that's
under 13? Yeah, 13. I'm not a victim.
read that
No,
again.
I think if you over
The
over
age
16.
of consent is 16.
Okay, so
The minimum age of victim is
I
16.
said minimum, not maximum.
Oh, okay.
And it also says, the question was phrased, can a 16-year-old date a 13-year-old? If the 16-year-old engages in any sexual misconduct and sexual conduct with a 13-year-old, they can face statutory rape charges and parental consent. Basically, what you just said.
So they can date a 13-year-old,
They just can't do
but
nothing.
once you engage in sexual anything,
With a 13-year-old, right?
but it happens. I taught middle school. I'm telling you, like, this,
I feel you.
But to you got to think 16, 13. Think about that's just 3 years. So if somebody's 18 and they're dating a 15-year-old freshman or
I was
something
just about
like
to say like.
that, freshman, yeah.
But I still don't feel like that's a compatible situation too, because you
But it
can ready to leave.
But it happens like
It happens all the time. Hell, I wasn't sexually active in high school, but I mean,
I thought we about to have another confession right here, y'all. Hey, there's a lot of stuff coming out. Well, look, that's what we said. We got a confession. We don't want no shame in nobody's game.
But for me,
We want it all to come out.
it's a certain thing. It's a maturity level.
I don't think boys don't see boys not worried about the maturity
Yeah, these
level.
girls ain't worried about nowadays either.
Yeah, but I'm saying, so I want you to think about it. You're speaking through the lens of an adult right now. The teens are this why we're having this conversation, y'all. Right now, Ms. Robinson is trying to process this thing through logic. No, that's how you talking tonight. Yeah, you want your Ms. Robinson tonight.
Robinson worked for APS.
Well, hell, let's get it on there, y'all. We are not
Tell them the name. What's the name?
Her name is Miss Barn Dick.
Hey, that's what we've been waiting. We waiting on her to come in right now. 'Cause right now, she's just so philosophical.
She filtered right now. She filtered.
I am a little filtered right
I don't
now.
know if
But Miss Bourne,
gotta
hey, gotta get.
I got our probation.
She on probation. So y'all,
I got
she's
probation.
a little cautious tonight, y'all. I guess when you first get on probation, you try like out there. So we at that 30-minute mark. So I think in the second part, man, we're gonna jump in. I wanted to stay here for a second. Yeah.
I asked him.
Well, at least by here. At least what I'm looking at. Maybe we got started. The clock started before we got on.
it did.
Okay. So let's Ms. Boyd, let's come on, man. Let's get off that logic stuff right now. Let's get on like the minds of them, like how they're thinking.
Okay, so let's get off the logic. I'm 15. I'm a 15-year-old high school girl,
yes.
and I get approached by a senior. You damn right I'm gonna talk to him.
That's what I'm talking about. And that senior, he already thinking like, hey, these upperclassmen, they already know how I rock. So, you know, I've been through there and so on and so forth. That's exactly right.
15 is freshman year, 10th grade?
I think so, around
14, 15,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, so it might be 14. That's right.
14, 15.
That's the peer pressure.
That's not legal. That ain't legal.
But hey, how many seniors though, Jared, who play football like you? If you see let's say you see a freshman from another school, you don't even know this girl. She push up on you after the game or whatnot, like, hey, you see or something. Yeah, and they be looking different. No, right here. So I'm talking to Jared, Tyrese, talking to Eli and Robert. Imagine you now, all of a sudden, you guys at the prom. You know how people bring a date from another school or something like that. This girl right here, she looks just like her older sister who's a senior. She's in the prom. Some pop off. Her mom didn't even know she's at the prom, but all of a sudden she gets wind of that she went to, South Atlanta or went to Best or Mays or Doug or somebody prom. She comes up in there, hey, where's my daughter? Hey,
She tell the club up.
yeah, no, they gone. They left. You know how they went with the boy. But the boy thinking that this is a senior from Doug or something like that. But in actuality, she is like a middle school student from Harper. I need you to get it. This is real.
I got a story about
Yeah, so what I'm saying is these teenagers are telling you this, that it's real because it was real, Jared, when we were in school.
Yeah.
I know people when I went to college at Bama State, you out at the club, you just assuming if somebody was in the club, they were old enough to be in the club. How do you know? Because you're not going to ask them for the ID if they're in the club where you got to be 18 or 21 to get in.
Yeah.
So I just want y'all to talk about that. Like, do y'all see girls trying to date up? Like, even if they're in middle school or if they're ninth graders trying to date up and acting like they're older.
What grade was that? When we had a state competition. I think we was in the school. We were sophomores. So this was 2 years ago. We were sophomores. We went to Athens for state competition for engineering. So, we just chilling with our classmates or whatever. So it was a group of girls that had to walk past us. So we thinking like you said, like, okay, they got to be a certain age to be here. Yeah. So we're like, okay, cool. So we went in there. We was doing what we doing. We just talking to each other. They pushed up on us, like you said. So we had to ask, like, okay, what school y'all go to? They said Westlake. Mind you, they said Westlake, right? And we look, okay, we done got us some. We dope. So later that night, man, we had.
Don't say it.
Okay, yeah, that's our dreams. That make it even worse. So we hadn't seen them again. So we hadn't seen, like, I'm gonna tell you how I peeped it out. Yeah. I looked at the way they was dressing, right?
The tennis shoes.
No, it wasn't even shoes. It was just the whole outfit. So I told Robbie, I did my exact. I said they dress like they in middle school. I don't think they go to Westlake for it. Mm-hmm. So we hadn't found one of the girls by herself. So I said, are you sure y'all go to Westlake? She started laughing. She went back to her friends. Yep. Find out they was 8th graders. I said, ain't no way. We blocked them. We didn't say
right. Right.
Like we could have been that close, like you said, a legal situation.
Right.
It'd be
imagine if they were grimy though. This boy, imagine if they just some grimy dudes who like, I don't care. I mean, we got because like, I'm down here in Athens, not like I know anybody that was not down here. That's all.
She says he raped.
That's it.
It's over with.
And you could have not even touched her.
Right.
The minute she says he raped me, it's a wrap.
Yeah, over against out.
And then you're a black male.
Right. And her friends gonna be on her side too. So that's 4-5.
But they ain't trying to get caught up in it either. So everybody's gonna be in agreement with her.
And you know this because we want to make sure we not nobody take this the wrong way. Like we're saying, girls,
Yeah.
We want to make sure we're not condoning anything, or we're not saying a boy should ever do anything without a girl giving them permission. But once that public opinion hits a black male, we know that even when you're innocent, once they say you raped somebody. And then imagine this right here. If you had not just said, you sure you go, and she started giggling like a middle school person, and she followed through like a mature girl, because we got students, y'all know, and all we do all things.
You play it out.
Hell, there are kids who probably out there hustling right now. Boys who know how to talk like grown men, girls who out there, my auntie or somebody out here on the street doing what she do. So now I see men coming in and out the house, so I'm kind of learning how to talk like a grown person.
Yeah.
So even though my auntie didn't encourage me to do this, but I can model that kind of conversation now.
Because you learn how to play the game.
Because I know how to play the game. So if you guys had caught the wrong 14-year-old girl, depending on who she's been around, who know the game, you easily could have been jammed up, like you said, man.
Because even if they didn't report it, the teacher see y'all walking
there
away,
we go.
Mm-hmm.
And that teacher might just say, hold on, who room are y'all coming out of? And once they say that room, they go downstairs and say, we're with the the engineering program and whatnot. there should not be any high schoolers on this side of the building.
Yep.
You like, hold on, no, those girls go to Westlake or whatnot. So hey, this sex thing, man, is real crazy out here. So how do we I want Tyrese to talk about something. This is gonna blow your mind right here. All of y'all who are listening, man, we didn't know this was such a high rated thing in schools. Tyrese, I think on the call the other day, we were talking about people actually engaging in sex at school, like during the school day. Like, is that real? Like that happens for real during the school day?
I say yeah. I think it happens like across the United States. Like,
wow,
it's like so common, and I think like you're a parent. You're not gonna let your child have sex with the house, like, bro.
No.
Hey,
Don't bring me into it.
When your mom is born on the show.
Don't bring
Okay,
me into
Mr. Walker, you a
Yeah.
parent.
Say that. She gonna start putting cameras in.
I'm
Can't even go on to school no more.
Like, you're not gonna let your child have sex in your house. So I'm sure they're like, oh,
Damn
Let's
sure
not-
right about that.
Okay, so let me stop that. Let me stop that though. Because some of the, no. There's a double standard. Because I know men who will allow their sons to have sex
As
in
soon
their
as they
home.
go to think about a boy, oh, she hanging from the top.
Well, by
You
Mr.
shot
Walker.
them.
But
I'm
my-
not saying
I know,
you.
but
I'm
his face, he
saying
like, what?
you shotgun ready if it's your daughter. You condom friendly when it's your son.
Yeah, but maybe the dad is condom friendly for you to do it out there. I don't know any dad
I
who say, come on in the crib.
know fathers who are very comfortable with allowing their sons to come in their homes.
So their mother must not live, the lady must not be
they
there.
make sure the mama gone.
Yeah, and you got the son up as soon as the
They
situation
make sure
over
mama
with.
gone.
I know some fathers who have slept to death, well, I don't just know who invite them to come to the
They
crib.
cool with them bringing them in, and he makes sure the mama is gone.
So, hey, y'all, that's a whole nother show right there. We need to bring some fathers on who, not that they're saying,
I'm just saying, I don't condone none of it. You can't sit here and say it don't happen. You can't sit here and say
I didn't know
if
that
your
was
folks was gone, then you ain't try to run some numbers through the doors or whatever,
Yeah.
whatever you want
but
to call
that's
it.
different than the
But
daddy
when
inviting, letting you do that. I don't know any
You want
dads.
Miss Bowen thinking out, or you want Miss Robinson?
I want Miss Bowen because I didn't know like daddies are letting their children bring.
Again, you free with the condom when it's your son.
Yeah.
You shotgun happy when it's your daughter.
I can understand that logic right there because I'm not. Right now, if somebody told me my son was out there doing something, you might be right. I might
You
be
ain't
like,
gonna say nothing.
yeah,
You
but
gonna
they
be
told me
like,
my daughter who was already
If your
college
son was
graduate.
doing it in your house, would you condone it?
I don't think I would condone it, but I wouldn't invite him. Yeah, I wouldn't be as disappointed if they told me my daughter had brought somebody to the house. And I know that's a double standard, which Coco is going to talk about tonight. There is a double standard. Every man who's listening to this podcast will be able to tell you when he was 15 years old, he could probably stay out later than his 18-year-old sister. Yeah. And if he got caught, like in a little situation or whatnot, his mama might beat him. But like you said, Daddy probably say, look, I tell you what, yeah, he gonna take him in the back room. Hell, Daddy might slam him on the bed or something, slam him on the floor. He be like, hey, boy, check this out. See, you gonna get me in trouble with your mama now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But if it's my daughter, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm throwing the Negro out the window. Like, if I catch a young dude in the house with my daughter, oh, he going out the window.
With the dog in the back.
Did the dog come in? We let the dog come in the house or whatnot. But I don't know how to explain that. That's just historically how it's been. I don't think it's right. But I think most dads would say that. Most mothers would probably say that it wouldn't be well either way. But I think because if something happened with the daughter and she got pregnant, we already know the daughter is going to be in that house. If something happened with that young man, we hope it doesn't happen on either side. That girl who he got pregnant is going to have the child at their house. That doesn't make it right, but I'm just telling you, that's how most folks see it.
That is true.
So y'all, hey, let's go ahead, man. Double standard. Let's take us straight into these double standards. Talk, go.
I feel like it should play both. Like, we all is human at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It should play, the baby part get it, but he still got to do his part too with the child, so he gonna be there too. So it's like you can't have double standards and then go back and be mad about a situation. If I'm saying it right.
So you saying like if we're gonna be mad at the girl, we should
You gotta be mad at
Be
you.
equally
You
mad.
gotta be equally mad.
So like, okay, so you talking about double standards, right? So like, you got a curfew?
Yes.
You got a curfew? No. You got a curfew? I don't got no curfew.
Hey,
I'm not saying like curfew.
Oh, I'm
No. I think this is a great point that you made.
But let me make it clear, I'm not offended by any means. So
So it's okay though, like if she just like she stays out to 2 or 3 o'clock.
No, my curfew is 11.
Oh, I thought you were saying you okay.
No, then when she was like, she got a curfew, everybody just came. I'm not offended by any means. I know how I run my house.
That's right.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
That's just how it
Cause
is.
But
even like
I
my
can
sister.
say my brother is supposed to have one, but she is lenient.
Don't even don't get in there. Let me say. Go ahead, Coco.
She more easier when he passed
Yeah.
over his curfew than
Yeah.
she is with me.
No, my son has pulled a couple of stunts.
All
And
right.
he ain't died.
I like what she
I mean, you
doing.
still here.
Yeah.
You still here. You still here though.
Hey, don't show the bruises. Don't show the bruises.
Look, she got.
No, she ain't had no bruises in a couple years. I give her that.
I just thought
You
bruises.
can't say that.
I don't mean physical bruises.
Well, hell, I'll tell you what, Jer. We had bruises back in our day.
Yeah.
We had real bruises back in the day, and I think the brother was ready for it though. I mean, if the situation was right, and it was the right person that you trying to sneak out for, mama just got to break the six brothers or whatever. Like, hey, why this, Miss Boy? With the fellas, when I come to school the next day, I might be like, bro, Mondu broke a broom on me. Well, hey, but the fellas might be like, was it worth it though, dog?
That's a badge of honor for y'all.
That's a badge of honor. Is that right? If you're not gonna snitch on your mama, you know, like,
Here go. That's the double standard too, though. That's a badge for y'all.
yeah, you're right. But I still got the
I got to mark the
yeah, I still got the bruise. So you got
Brag about the bruise because the bruise was worth it. You just don't tell them how much pain you in.
you right. But then you gotta think too. I don't think teachers were mandated reporters and all that stuff back in the day. You know, like a Nico came in with a bruise on his back. The teacher might have said something like, "Hey, tell your mom I said keep doing what she's doing. Y'all trying to get too grown." Nah. Yeah, I know if I know if you ain't going all the way out there, like you said, Coco, and all the fellas are saying, if I set a curfew, you know what I'm saying, hypothetically, as a parent, and you come in past 3 o'clock in the morning, you in the 10th grade or something, I probably have to put some hands on you.
Well, and you gotta understand too, when you have, she's the oldest in my house.
See, she got to set the step.
So I have to set the tone with her because if I don't, it's a wrap with them other two. And them other two, they pushing buttons already. Because I got another girl I gotta raise.
Younger than Coco.
And Shawty works for
And
y'all.
she is the one that's gonna be the one child I really gotta put my hands on. I go ahead and openly admit that. I'm gonna have to really 1, 2, 3 her ass.
Man, we might start dancing these days. We might start doing these shows like ahead of time.
When you see me on the news, I'm gonna be like, yep, she got that ass got a
Before I think everybody looking at the show, they like, yes, we gonna be one like.
They go,
It's gonna be like more improvement.
But then it's with the curfew situation. Like I know a couple times I've been past my curfew and I just ask her to stay out. And she'll be like, nah, come home. I be late. My brother asked us out, you gotta be home first thing in the morning though. Then man go.
No, I didn't. Let me tell you why. Wait, you gotta explain to the people in the audience what you're doing.
Okay. Hey, in case y'all don't know, some stuff we don't need y'all to see. So we can ready to do our private chat. This is a private chat. So if you on your Zoom, you know over to the right, you can just do a little private message. We get ready to do an old school private chat right here.
So let me, in my defense, let me say this. One, don't take this personal. One, this was before I really truly got to know you all. Because it wasn't like she was out with girlfriends and it wasn't the whole squad. The squad included a whole bunch of little boys. So in my defense, it's open. No, I'm not saying y'all in there doing stuff. I'm just saying, right. I'm saying some parents are more lenient than I am at a certain age with company of the opposite sex.
Hey y'all.
So you right. If I said bring your ass home, bring your ass home.
Hey y'all, just in case somebody want to say some names,
I can.
we won't let y'all get names.
Your son, they not single gender around either though.
But when they also be out by the time he get to the house, unless you know something I don't. Oh, we got.
Yeah, I think it's okay when you do a little snitching.
No,
Hey.
so it's more like a trust thing?
I trust her.
Okay. She don't trust the men.
No. No, you took the words right out of my mouth. I trust her. It's the dudes that I don't trust. But at the end of the day, when you get that peer pressure, I'm gonna be the first one to go on and say it. Y'all might not bring it up. Cool, I bring it up. Nah, we ain't doing no, we just chilling. Netflix and chill. Somebody hand end up on the thigh, somebody's shirt end up raised up, oh, a little nibble on the neck. No, we gonna call it spade a spade. Old school tricks. You can't do none we ain't did before and did it better.
That's crazy.
I'm just saying. Before I really got to know the bros, as she calls them.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It was what it was. Because at the end of the day, what you say, some double standards you just can't help. And I'm one that cannot stand double standards. But at the same time, I have to protect my daughter in the sense that if she was to get pregnant, guess who's gonna have that baby?
No, because you know your daughter just have dude out here now.
I mean, you still got the female things.
I do.
But your life
So,
don't change.
so like, now, what did she say? Are you saying that it won't be on her? They'll take care of it?
That ain't what she
No,
said.
I was saying like. I was saying like.
My
Everything that
daughter,
you think a female would get caught up in, I won't because I think like a dude majority of the time. I do still have my female
now,
friends.
but let's see what's gonna happen in 6 months in her freshman year in college. You gonna meet that one that's gonna say something to you. I don't care how hard you are.
Yeah.
You know who my dad is?
That's the way.
Hey,
But that's how I know the game.
but here's the thing though. Now here's the crazy thing though. Because I know who your daddy is, that makes the trophy that much bigger. If I'm the
But
one.
that makes me more conscious.
And
of
that's
what
how
your
no.
dad
But
said
you
and
never
what
been to
your
college
dad
before though, Coco.
said. You right.
I'm telling you, man, though. Hey, look, I've been a senior at Alabama State. And I know when the freshman orientation happened, they are
You one
peaking.
matter.
Go
You
ahead.
know who her dad is. She know who her dad is. Her dad is the one that got me.
Hey, you out here first, baby. We got a world premiere. We got a world premiere on the Working With Our podcast. With this boy thing. Ooh, this thing is hot. Hey, y'all. Hey, we might need a bigger picture right there. Hey, let's talk about the jersey, y'all. Hey, check this out, man. Look, man, y'all just got a world premiere right here. If you don't share this thing right here, I know right now somebody's trying to figure out who is her daddy. Don't worry about all that. But what we do need you to do is, we need you to come back in about 5 minutes. I don't know if her daddy's on the phone right now because he's looking at his feet. Hey, Pops, let me say this right here. That ain't got nothing to do with walking. That's off script right there. But I love the way you interjected. Y'all see how that's why we get here at the Walking With Walk podcast. Team talk with the crew, man. These niggas be surprised at me. I'm like, hell nah. Y'all remember earlier I asked for Miss Bowen Thick. I don't know who the other lady was who came here earlier. But Miss Bowen Thick is back, baby.
Is she?
That's what I want right now. You good? You want a cigar or something?
I got mine in my
Oh, you
purse.
got yours. Hey, y'all, we don't smoke on the Wednesday during the show when we got the team, but I promise you next Wednesday, I'm firing my cigar, but you drop a bomb like that. So, Payne, can we get ready to run into it in a minute? I want to talk though right quick. This is something that I'm doing for our seniors right here, and one of the seniors, this fool actually asked, can he win the jersey?
I'm muted.
Who said that?
So check this out, Payne. I just want to right now. This is a Trayvon Walker jersey. This dude right here, he's one of my favorite teams, man. He's a team from my hometown, Thomason, Georgia, 30286, man. So we just thought it would be just like awesome to actually let our first giveaway on the Walking With Walk podcast, Team Talk, for us to give away one of my favorite teams, Trayvon Walker, might be 20 now. But this brother says his number is number 44. He's going to be a beast in the Southeastern Conference this year. We're looking for 44 new followers. 44 new followers. And we're going to pick up 44 new followers. Coco, can y'all try to monitor that? So once we do that, we're going to do it for the next 2 shows. And we're going to put those names into a drawing. And whoever gets picked, other than somebody who's sitting on one of these couches, we need new 44 new followers. I need everybody to pay attention to this. And you must be on the show to win. So if we actually do the show and you're not on live with us, the winner has to be present watching the show. Is that fair, y'all?
Yeah.
So we're going to do 44 new followers at Walking With Walk podcast.
You can't follow from a different page.
I just follow.
Hey, so, hey, watch this right here. Now y'all can see the number follow go. I'm like, hey, these big girls here like, hey, dude, I got to wear that jersey.
But I got like 60.
If we find out that one of our teams one shirt and they use a different we are pressing charges against them because they are old enough to go to Wright Street. And if they mess around and do it right here, we're gonna take them about 30 yards down the street and let Victor Hill pick them up, y'all. Because he got something on his side. Yeah, Victor Hill, I'm talking Mr. Hill. Victor Hill, if you watching this show right now, if one of these Negroes wearing that Trayvon Walker jersey, we need you to come and apprehend them with the Cobra unit. We know. Hey y'all, so let's look. Everybody, y'all we're about to take a break for 5 minutes. We need you guys to start following us if you're not a follower. And if you are a follower, go ahead and just let us know in the comment section on one of the pages underneath the flyer that we had. Put your name in there. We might even put your name in there, especially if you are a regular. So once again, it's at Walking with WAP Podcast. We're looking for the first 44, and then we're going to take 44 new people to follow us not next Wednesday, following Wednesday, and we will give the jersey away on air at the end of the show. So what is the date of the 2 Wednesdays from now?
28.
Yeah.
So that's April 28th?
Yep.
So hey, y'all, April 28th will be the giveaway. We need 44 new followers right now, and we need 44 followers on April 28th, and we will give the jersey away at the end of the show.
Come on.
I see Jared doing some calculations. Jared, what you calculating, Jared?
It can't be none of your other pages either. I know you got about 5.
Hey, y'all, hey, can we go to a break right here, man? Take about a 5-minute break. And I don't mean we got to shut it all the way down. You can kind of keep us rolling as far as the pick. There we go. Look at them I want y'all to see. We are back live, and hey man, I'm telling y'all, I want y'all to see what goes on behind the scenes. But that's why. You know what? These boys are wild, and this young lady in the middle, man, her mama about to lose her.
No, I ain't. I'm good.
So into the camera.
I'm telling y'all, hey, she say she good. Well, hold on, y'all. We about to see how good about to get. Tyree was just telling us off camera, man, that the after party, after prom, I don't know if it's a cluster-wide prom party or just a south side Atlanta, all sides of Atlanta. Is it everybody talking?
Everybody.
North side, east side,
Everybody.
south side.
Because I know 1, 2, 3, 4 ain't gonna let nothing happen to her.
There it is. Hey, y'all, you heard it first. I just hope 1, 2, 3, 4 ain't doing nothing of stuff we about to talk about in this next segment of our show right here, because if they are out
You
there.
gotta have a yellow wristband.
Yeah. Hey, look, Tyree, tell us, man, about this, what's going on. You ain't got to tell us any specifics, but hey, man, we talking about we got a big time party.
Well, you know, we all seniors, so I'm 18. Y'all 18?
Oh, she
She's 17, but she's still legal.
Yeah, in Georgia, you good.
Legally grown.
You good.
Don't push it. Don't push it.
You know how to make it to your curfew. You gotta get out that thing about 10.
No, she good. She good.
Yellow wristband.
I think on that
If
day.
we get clear on the 7th, I technically shouldn't have no curfew no more. Because when am I coming home? Well, I ain't gonna say when I'm coming home for. When am I coming home on time?
Look, you know when you just talking, you just digging yourself.
So
let me say this.
you got a curfew because you still live.
No. Hey, when you right, though. I'm just telling you, I won't say it on camera.
What is it?
So you let Jamie do that?
Hey, man, prom night, man.
You let Jamie do
I
that?
thought that prom night, man, you clear I'm just hoping that, like you said, I'm hoping that whatever stress I got.
Here's the thing. I ain't the one she really got to worry about.
Yeah.
Pop.
But I didn't see Pop fade right then. I saw her pondering what
Yeah, you were
thing.
considering.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Because I trust her.
Pops may be the one in the after party with us.
Oh,
See, that's
wait.
And he don't get no yellow. He don't get no yellow wristband. He get a gold wristband. He get a gold wristband.
Hey, this is why we might have to
My
go.
apologies. We don't have to edit.
Yeah, we gotta have that 3-second delay on this thing. But I agree with y'all. Man, Pop might be a good promoter for us.
I think what's it called? But I think like you said, the next segment that we about to go into, we ain't gonna be doing none of that at the after party.
Oh, no.
So speaking of the next segment,
Oh, good.
Let's jump. I like that segue. So let's So look, check this out, man. I think though a lot of times when you have these parties, a lot of kids, parents think that, you know, they're afraid because now it's not like you just going to the after party. You got folks who are gang banging. You got folks out there maybe distributed. You know, I'm just saying it could be alcohol, but still that's a drug when you're underage or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So how do y'all deal with the peer pressure of drugs and alcohol and gang banging? You know, when you're trying to stay focused as a senior in high school.
Well, I can start. So me, you know, I got like people around me who are like steer me away from that like lane. So you know, I got my brother. He done been through all that. He done did it all. You know, gang bang, drugs. I ain't gonna say
Don't put him out there.
Yeah,
already happened. No, I mean like you said, my uncle been to prison for doing this and that. They can't try him again. Yeah, well,
We don't know what brother's current state is.
Right.
Brother being
I think though, people, this what makes this show real. You know, we ain't gonna say for our Social Security number, but on the same token, on the strip, I think if we stop doing that, then we're no different than somebody bringing somebody out to the school and having a speaker to talk, and then it's like, so bro, you mean tell me? Well, you know, I can't really say that. So you got anybody in your family? No, I won't really say that. No, Negro, look, my brother did it. He's doing 30 years right now. You know, people need to know that. Because sometimes we see like the people who are here and we think everybody's all good. We think nobody, that person who's a speaker at the school, his family never got in any trouble or whatnot. So I think for somebody to see him on the show, you know, saying what you said, it's kind of like you just gave me permission by default to kind of say, hey, why have I been carrying my brother's burden? Because my brother had tried to lighten my load. And I think sometimes when we share like what you're sharing, Eli, you kind of give your brother his badge of honor or whatever, because he could have easily encouraged me to go out there and do what he did. But now my brother, who was banging and selling drugs, he told me, bro, I don't want you to go down that road.
Mhm.
And as a matter of fact, I don't even hustle on this side of town because I don't even want you to see me doing it.
Right.
So like what? Like, so how did you avoid it? I mean, cause we see it every day in the building. You know what I'm saying? How do you avoid it? Because I know that person has to be tough.
Right. It's like okay, we'll have like sit down conversation. Like he'll actually sit me down. We'll talk about like all of it, like every single aspect of it. It's like he'll tell me like, okay, what he did, and like what happened, like what is the effect of him doing that. And then like that really didn't click in my mind until like one time, like you said, this is my brother badge of honor. Really, I'll get a badge of honor to my uncle. Cause one day he was outside playing basketball. I kid you not, he said, "Rob me real quick." I didn't know who was going. I think I was a freshman. I was in 9th grade.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Rob me real quick." He took me on the west side of Atlanta. He took me to this house. I ain't never seen that. I didn't know he owned that house.
Yeah.
But I tell you, all you seen was big old dogs. Smelled like, what dogs do. Smelled like that. And inside the cabinets, there was no food.
Just trap out.
Yeah, trap out. That's exactly what he said. He was like he had a deal he was doing. Like, he asked, let me see it. He had a deal he did. We got inside the car. He was like, I bet I ever catch, he did exactly what he bet I ever catch you doing nothing like this. He said, I showed you this because I want you not to be like this. And I was like, I was really stuck. I was like, why would you show me this? But, over time, I realized why he showed me that, because I ain't want no dealings with that at all.
So with that, man, I think that, and like, people hearing it from a judgmental standpoint would say, why would you show him that? I have to say, I give my brother shouts out to J Dub. I call his name out. Shouts out to Jay, because I didn't smoke weed because my brother was just like your brother. My brother would tell folks like, no, bro, he's not hitting that. And if you give it to him, I'm gonna break your nose. You know what I mean? So it ain't like I had all the willpower. That's why I wanted him to share that story, because without my brother, without my uncles, and everybody who's watching this who know me know that my uncles all have done some time. So without one of my uncles, who I always tell people like mine, probably the best educator I ever had, his cat has always told me like, nephew, now when you come to the dark side, because I know you getting ready to do what you say you're gonna do, and I'm rocking with you. But once you do what you're saying you're doing, you can't go back to that side. Mm-hmm. So you don't want to do chain gang time. You know what I'm saying? He's like, the last bid my uncle did, he was up at Hayes, and my grandma died. 2 of my uncles came to my grandma's funeral in handcuffs and shackles. I don't say that y'all like to put them on blast. I say that because I didn't know you have to pay for folks to get out of jail to come to their own mama funeral.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, it ain't talking about no $200. It's about like $1,000 or something like that. So now you making out depending on what your family situation is. Yeah, that's exactly right. You got to pay the police who's driving, and you got to, do all these things. But I say that though, y'all, to go to like why we want this show to be exactly what we're doing now. We want this teen talk to be this for some kids' mind. Yeah. So hey, if we don't say this, you got a parent who might be like, well, I don't get on that show, Robbie, and say this and that. We're not telling you to put your family business all out there, but parents need to know there are little boys in middle school. I know this because one of my coworkers told me this. She said down at our feeder school, there was a grown man here in Atlanta who was pimping little boys. They wanted the Jordans and stuff like that. He was pimping little boys.
But see, when you start talking to boys about certain things, they don't think that can happen to them.
I know that because I never heard of that.
Happens to the girls. No, baby, they'll come get a little boy before they come get you. Yeah.
So now we're talking about that peer pressure of banging. So could people like lure people into gangs, and could people lure people? And because like there's a sexual part. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So there's a sexual part to gang banging and stuff. You know what I mean? So y'all talk about that. I mean, Coco being a girl. I know I had a girl student when I worked in Montgomery who got raped. Like she was trying to get sexed into the gang or whatnot. And it was like 27 boys, I think, from like age 11 all the way up to like 20-something years old. And they left her like naked in a dugout close to my old school. Like naked. But hey, now man, you passed the initiation, but she was out of school for like a couple of years. You know what I'm saying? Like this, that I don't know if it was just like because of what happened here or what happened here. Yeah, man, it was a lot of them, man. But the thing about it is, you gotta think, you'll be better off just getting jumped in, but both options are bad options.
Yeah, because you get jumped in, you gonna end up in the hospital.
Yeah, and
because is it true that when you get jumped in, you can't fight back?
No,
you can't fight back.
See, no, baby. It ain't even an option for me.
So now let's talk about it. Is that something? Because I heard Atlanta got a real serious thing, Robbie. I mean, Robbie is coming from an area of the town, of the city, where we know there's a lot of cats over there who, even if they're not officially like a gang, they might just be neighborhood crews or something like that right there. Talk about that, man. How do you keep your head straight when you do that kind of stuff?
From what I know, I don't know too much about gangs, but I know people who are in gangs, stuff like that. But like from what they be telling me, they tell me that they join gangs for like protection and guidance because like they don't have the right resources, like big brothers, like I said, big brothers and uncles, and the right people to direct them into the right path. So they just follow the wrong path, like gang banging and fast money. Something else we can talk about. And
Is
so,
it more prevalent, Robert, than we know? You know, like you know, people who look like they might not be gang banging, or people who out there get money, but they come to school and it's kind of like right now, if somebody's watching this show, Jared, for example, they might say, well, those young men right there, for all we know, y'all could be getting money. You know what I mean? So like, is it something that you would be able to identify? And y'all know because you've been around me, I'm looking at shoestrings, but most people just thinking Tyrese does well in class. When I come in, Tyrese knows as soon as you walk in my room, I'm looking like, hey, no, you can't come in with that shoestring like that. You got to put that one in that. Not walk. Ain't putting it in that shoe. Okay, then you can't come in here. See, if you're not banging, when I say that, you're just like, wow. I mean, what difference does that make? If you bang as soon as I say that, you might just say, I'll see you tomorrow. Well, when you come back tomorrow, you might have that same color in both shoes. But you didn't disrespect me, I didn't disrespect you, but we're not going to let you bring that culture into our space. Yeah. Because when I go to your neighborhood, if, you know, like, for example, you know, we had lost a student. Y'all probably remember, I think y'all freshman year, his sister was one of my students. And y'all know he from Four Seasons. And I knew that day, she was like, hey, well, everybody expecting you to come out there. And Payne, you already know what I had on. Well, we rock or whatever, you know, wearing my Falcons and George Bull, all this red and flame all the way up. I'm like, nah, I'm not pulling up out there. Not Four Seasons. They're like, yeah, you already know. I didn't Four Seasons. Like, nah, baby. I said, look, if y'all going straight out of school, your boy ain't coming out there with this on. They're like, but everybody know you're a teacher like that. But everybody might not know because y'all who go to South Atlanta know. But there might be some young cat out there who's just like, no, bro, I just swung on the old school cat out there, man, all that red on. No, man. But y'all see, so I think that is enticing also. So what do you think? As a girl, do girls get caught up in it too?
Most definitely. I've seen a lot of females walk around and it's like they're proud of it. And it's like, what are you proud of? Like, why are you proud to be initiated like that? Why are you proud to follow under that life?
So are they doing both? Like, cause I don't know, is there like a balance between how many girls get sexed in and how many girls get jumped in?
That plays into the sexuality part too.
Oh wow! Well, look at these transitions we're doing tonight, boy.
Man, they did some homework this time.
I don't want to use the word stud or dyke, but we're talking professional.
Hell, I don't know.
But females categorize themselves as a dude.
Right. Hey, y'all let us know. I mean, what is the politically correct word to say when a girl? Sometimes you just gotta say it and get educated on it. So if you out there, what is the word to use that's politically correct for the girl who
No.
No. Hey y'all, and we gotta go to our audience out here. We don't want to say anything that offends anybody. Can y'all give us a word on one of these links? Let us know the word you use if a girl is like the one who, because I know back in our days, I know.
The hardest girl of them all that thinks she's a dude.
Yeah.
They go.
I'm glad I was.
Hey, yeah, we gotta start doing that 3-second delay for real on this thing. I don't know what they say.
You have some females that prefer to get jumped in, but it's like, why would you want a bunch of dudes hitting on you?
Right.
And you know, some dudes don't know their own strength. And let it be an athletic gangbanger. And he don't know his own strength for real.
So if
hit you out.
But if it's a girl who planning on being about that life, then she gotta be about
but
that
that's
life.
how they think it. You want to be about this life. You know what comes with it.
That's
you
right.
see it. We gonna give you what you asked for.
So my thing is like, have you guys had the opportunity? Because I know I got students who out there, but it doesn't change the way I see them. Y'all get what I'm saying? And some of them give me a chance to be in that world. And when I say be in that world, y'all know because of respect for me, I understand that I get a chance to have a lot of conversation with students about things that most people would never, ever. I get a chance to go to some neighborhoods at night, y'all, and just, you know, hey, man, check this out. I already know, Ms. Walker, you come through here. Cats know me. I guarantee you right now, anybody from Thero, South Atlanta, they know that gold maximum when it comes pulling up in the hood. And it's almost like there's some, hey, he good right here. Because they know sometimes I gotta be the one to come in when they put you behind that plexiglass. Mm-hmm. And when your uncle, somebody who's something kind of like what you said, Rob. Hey, I was your uncle. I was the closest thing to an uncle, and cats already know if Walt coming, he ain't snitching. He gotta tell Walt what's going on in order to make sure that Walt can get in contact with one of these brothers who are attorneys with Letters McMahon, so we can get the real story out of you. Yeah. So we already know we ain't trying to do X, Y, and Z, but if you don't come and get with those guys, your homeboys don't flip state on you. Because just like my man Molly always say, bro, he always say this right here, y'all. He said, man, everybody gonna flip. Everybody flip. See, it's easy when you out here in the streets and you talking about, no, bro, man, that's my dog. He said, bro, when they get back in that back room and start saying 40 years and 35 years and all that stuff. And then your mama, who like, let's say if you from one of those families, and we'll get ready to segue into another, because I think some of these can kind of tie in with each other. But your mama is coming down there. And she's saying, hold on, they had drugs in the car. I know my son don't do no drugs. Robbie ain't never been no drug, but now Robbie, we hotboxing Robbie. Robbie don't even know this. Robbie, you find out that y'all hotboxing. Hey, so this song, y'all know that one song they come out. Yeah, I got a stick in the box. Hey man, mama, you let him listen to that song all the time. Mama like, hold on, what the hell is a stick in the box? Well, you about to see when they bring him up there. Hey, we want to say evidence. Hey, and I'll give you your popcorn on this note right here. This is great. Shameless plug right here for the pink cake, y'all. These Oreo popcorn right here, y'all. This is what we talking about. This is great. I'm gonna let the group share bag because they were slipping on their pimping earlier this week with some of the tasks. They were slipping on their pimping. I need y'all to see. Niggas trying to steal. They slipping on their pimping. So the group is gonna share some. Miss Barnes is gonna get her. Coco about to get. Well, I know we can't say certain stuff on the air. Hey, Payne, could you bring my pistol? I didn't know I was gonna shoot it, Mama. You can't bring my pistol. We can be on the show. They're like, you
just gotta get a shoe.
We would take that.
I'm gonna let y'all get y'all one, cause y'all. Look, y'all notice I brought a whole bag for the crew.
Oh, it's nicely covered.
I brought a whole bag for the crew, but the crew haven't been doing what they need to do, y'all. So what we gonna do for the crew? It's like being online right here. We asked the crew to make so many posts, and I was looking for so many people to join us on Walking with Walt podcast. So since we did not get as many as I wanted, you guys, I'm gonna let them share a bag. It's gonna be a camaraderie.
I'll hold it.
Don't let it bag it.
I'm telling you, man, I want to take those. You take those. You might want to buy a pack.
Yeah, I already know.
In fact, we all let one of our followers win a pack.
Oh, they your boy.
I'm telling you, boy.
Right. That's why I'm getting up on
them.
No,
when they start, oh, you know what? I did say that because Tyrese and Gerald was so early. They were here at 4:40 for the 6 o'clock show. I would do that. I did something.
He wasn't supposed to get you.
How you got here?
Oh, grace of God.
Now, hey, if they would flip on each other about popcorn, you can imagine what happened when niggas say 35 years. What you looking back for?
Where it go?
So we're gonna transition right from the popcorn back into. We've already talked about sexuality. Coco, you get ready to allude to that with the game banging, and we start talking about sexuality. Is it more? What are we looking like on time?
Oh, we good.
Is it more like, I don't know? We were talking about this. And don't let the popcorn distract you so much that we forget that the Negroes so gone. I like. I was testing to see if my man was gonna just say like, y'all look like this bag right here. He's like, oh hell no.
Didn't work.
Yeah, I think you gonna say, man.
I picked that bag up.
I would have do the same thing.
It's okay.
Would you like some?
I'm surprised you.
I feel some kind of way about this right here now. I feel now. Did y'all see the mama that hand her child some popcorn? They like when you go.
No, it can go around the room.
Look at Tyree. He got it.
He I was about to say he hid.
That's why you don't break the popcorn out in the middle of a show, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all do 2 bags.
Okay, so we're going to sexuality, right?
Gotta make sure.
Yeah, one for yourself.
Yeah. Because I already have somebody bought some popcorn.
Oh.
Yeah, somebody bought some.
We might need to go pick
Yeah,
some
we got to bag those bags.
What?
I owe my 3 bags. You know what I'm saying? I mean, 1 bag left out of that 3.
Can we get special delivery?
Can we, Payne, are we back on commercial break? Because we up there seeing Walking with Walt going on right now.
Yeah, we see them.
Oh, we back.
Why the people walking on?
Oh, they can hear us, but they just can't see us. We walking with Walt. We walking all the way to get these popcorn.
Y'all see that? Y'all don't see that intro?
I want to see those. Miss Valentine.
What's up, boss?
We were talking the other day, and it's a real serious topic because, like what you just said, Coco, we were talking about sexuality and how sometimes you don't know what to say when you're dealing with students who might be, finding their sexuality or whatnot. So I want to ask this question because I asked Coco, and I think all of us were talking on things. I said, and I need them to tell me as an adult. So y'all are teaching me this. So a couple of years ago, there were 2 same-sex people kissing outside my door.
Mm-hmm.
I told them they had to move on, whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody came to me and said, well, you wouldn't have done that had that been a girl and a boy. And then just so happened another student though came to my defense and said, "Oh hell, y'all can't know Ms. Walker. Ms. Walker probably would have kicked the girl and boy out of there faster than that." Because I was trying to be tolerant, you know, and understand this right here. I didn't make no scene or anything. I just did the same thing I would do if y'all two were standing. Let's say if y'all two were standing out there, y'all four were standing outside my door. You've been in my room before. If I hear noise outside my door, he already know I'm going. But just because it was two, you know, like of the same sex people, and I told him to move, somebody went and reported it. Like,
It was a respect thing.
Yeah, that's all I was saying. It's a respect thing, but they try to make it though like it was a sexuality thing though.
Like a hate crime.
That's PDA.
They try to
Public
That's
display of
not-
affection,
that's
yeah.
inappropriate at school, period.
Yeah.
But so help me to understand, like, is it supposed to be like one of those things that we just accept that if it comes from people of the same sex? I'm just saying because y'all generation seems a whole lot more open than our generation was.
But when you start dealing with stuff that's sensitive,
Uh-huh.
because it has become such a sensitive issue, especially in the schools, you know, the first thing everybody want to holler is discrimination.
Yeah.
Then they want to start old lawsuit.
Yep.
Everybody starts seeing dollar signs. Oh,
Yeah.
he just treats me unfairly because I'm this one. No, like you said, to know you is to know that I don't care who. It be two dogs standing right here. He gonna get everybody away from his dog. That's it. I've been in your classroom.
Not even his door around the corner and the other corner.
So anybody like just like you guys, just with the short time that we're starting to learn each other, y'all like my family now. So you guys, well, you look like the dog.
No, we just.
Oh Lord, I'm not saying the dog. I thought the dog had made it in the house. I'm about to say y'all anyway. I'm about to say you got to worry about the popcorn. They have me popcorn back. Lord, I saw Coco doing like this. And I see Robin like, Lord, son.
Because I heard something. I was like,
Your
what?
dog. If Sonny Boy come in this house, you ain't gotta worry about me no more.
Lord, son, but everybody tell me the same. But here's the thing, though. Is it more acceptable though? Like
No.
it just seems like to me
It's not more acceptable. I feel like for that, I feel like they expect more leeway, right?
Yeah.
Like
That's what it is.
I don't think it's like anything against like a teacher or anything,
Yeah.
but it's like it play in their favor,
Mm.
regardless of the situation.
When
Even
you say
like,
play in the student favor,
yeah,
or, okay,
like in,
okay.
those, in that situation,
Yeah,
it play in
yeah.
their favor. Like even like as a male student, like if a guy hitting a girl, right,
Mhm.
and the guy is not doesn't
Gotcha. No, I
identify
got you.
himself as a male, right?
Yes.
Regardless, I'm gonna say
Hey,
something.
this serious, y'all. I want y'all all to comment on this. So you're saying, if I'm hearing you right, you're saying if a guy is hitting a girl, but he's like a heterosexual guy, he might get expelled.
Not even that though. It's like let's say Gerald,
Football
whatever, and he
player.
hitting a girl, right?
Yeah.
We gonna say something.
Yeah.
But if another, like if homosexual, what's
Trans or
yes,
homosexual.
if they're hitting like Coco, and I say something, it may come off different, like oh you just or
You
you
trying to fight because
yeah, or it's a hate crime.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So what I'm about to ask, what they say, because I'm still learning that, you know, I don't know about you guys. I'm still learning, like, if I saw a guy who I don't know, we have students at our school who identify as female, you know, like how we say it now.
At every school.
Yeah,
Let me
definitely.
say
Yeah,
this.
definitely.
Let me say this. Now we're not gonna.
No, what I'm saying is, like, do we
No,
have
what
it to
I'm
the
saying-
point where they, like, can go to the restroom and stuff like that?
No.
No, that's what I mean, like that right there.
Because physically, you still identify as a male or a female. Period.
But I think that's why
I
we
think we
got.
should have training on that kind of
I
stuff.
think I think like I don't know about in y'all building, but in our building we got like
A couple of folks.
no like what is it like both gender bathrooms like family restrooms.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I mean, we in our building we just separated. We have male and female bathrooms, but we also have our staff bathrooms, and our students are not privy to those bathrooms.
So if somebody says they identify as a female, even though it's clear, like to us, you know, just by the eyeball test that you're not a female, but they identify as that, and they go into the female restroom, should we just let them go
You gotta
or
have, like,
what?
some type of paperwork on that.
No, not even that.
It's
Because
that's
that's
a
different
problem,
for us,
But-
but we're single gender.
But that's where
Yeah.
it comes to play in.
But-
You can't let them there because how you know another female in there
Right.
feels comfortable.
Yeah.
But
That's where you have to go.
but
to
that
the
but
actual
a
gender.
lot of stuff. That's what I'm asking. Like you guys, how do you guys do it? Because I know I was watching something on the news one night, and this is why I tell people like we need more education as educators about this. Because like imagine if somebody files suit against a male teacher because he's saying, hey bro, you can't go in that bathroom and do say I identify as a woman. Because in the hood a lot of
But
times
you still have the body parts of a man.
But that doesn't matter though. According to law, if you identify as a
Right,
female.
but in a school setting, you shouldn't be allowed to do that because the
Because
young lady's not going to be.
Hey man, can we get somebody? If somebody knows
And I
about
could
this
be
rule
wrong.
right here, can somebody
Yeah, we
let
need
us
somebody
know?
to come in on that one.
Yeah, because this is what we're talking about, y'all. We said we're gonna talk
And
about
that's
sexuality,
what,
so we want to know.
that's where the respect thing come from on both sides. When he said they feel like they get a leeway on stuff.
Yes.
I get you identify, but you got to think we're in school and these folks, we're not in the open out world where everybody's just grown enough to accept
Who you are.
Yeah.
You're still in the school building, so I might not feel comfortable with a dude that identifies as a woman walking into the bathroom. We in here changing. We in here.
Yeah.
I might not feel
Because at the
comfortable.
end of the day,
Now
you
somebody
can
else
still
may.
do what you do.
Yeah.
as a dude.
We might this might need to be like a whole show, not where nobody's bashing, just like educational because I know they said there was an elementary school that was actually started. I mean like for little kids.
Yeah.
So that's saying little kids who identify as.
Like how old is Dwayne Wade's son?
Yeah, he's like I think.
No, and
But they want Tyrese. They want younger than that though.
I feel because I have a friend of mine who is in the LGBTQ community,
Yes.
and I asked.
Yes.
We were having a conversation amongst friends at dinner one night, and he said he identified. He knew at 5 or 6 years old that that was his,
So do
his
you
lifestyle.
think? So do you think he was saying then that they should have a school like your kids identify?
No, he didn't say that because he's still respectful with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I really have been broken down to understand. They broke it down to me to help me understand that there's levels to all of this.
Yeah.
And when I say it get deep. Period.
So kind of like I think what gives me, and I think that the crew is helping me to understand this. I wouldn't want like when we talk about elementary school kids having sex. I wouldn't want no elementary school kids. I don't care if you like identify as heterosexual, identify as trans, and all these different labels or whatnot. I don't think you should be talking about that. So I think at 8, 5, 6, 7, just my opinion. This is not for the Walk and Walk podcast. This is not the opinion of the teens on the show. I just think we should let kids be kids until you about at least middle school.
But see, let me tell you where we lose with that at.
Where?
Take social media out. TV has become so uncensored.
Cartoons.
It's on Disney Channel.
Yeah. Like I didn't know SpongeBob was supposed to have some stuff to do with.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there like SpongeBob. No, we're not bad. I'm just saying, but that's what
It came out years ago. Okay, SpongeBob identifies as a little boy. Patrick is supposed to be a little boy, and they always together, and they doing it. It's a lot of things.
But a kid would take that as
even
his
this,
best friend.
but you know what? I was watching this show, and I think this. I know we gotta move on to the next subject, but I was watching this show the other night. I think it's something about some wolves. Is it Teen Wolf?
Teen
or
Wolf.
something like that? Yeah, Teen.
My show.
Hey, it's my show, but it was more. I know on the Teen Wolf, all in the band, and they were like, "Oh, now these dudes was just laying in the bed." And I'm thinking, if I had heard the show Teen Wolf, I need y'all to get the preface of what I'm saying. Teen Wolf, I would have thought it was no problem with my niece who's 8 years old and my other niece who's like 11 years old. Yeah, because it's like teen. So I'm thinking like Teen Wolf would just be like some regular little stuff that anybody.
Remember, we had a Teen Wolf.
Nah, it's for the older
yeah,
Teen Wolf.
Yeah, this Teen Wolf is like.
They have that.
You
Yeah.
gotta think the way they do shows now, high school shows,
Yes.
they're more so
Grown
adults
folks.
that are still going to school.
Like
They
Riverdale.
not-
Yeah, I
What's
agree.
the little show you used to watch with
The
Britney
Grace?
Spears' little sister? They was
Oh,
all these, they were going to these boarding schools. And
Zoe
stuff.
101.
Yeah, that
That's my
like
show too.
how
They were freaking on that too.
No, that's what
they weren't, but you showed teens basically living their lives like college kids.
You talking about Degrassi.
I
not
didn't
talking-
watch Degrassi.
Talking about
That's
Drake.
what you.
I'm about to say
I
Drake.
used to watch Zoe 101. And when you look at some of those shows, if you really and truly dissect a lot of these shows
Yeah.
that this generation grew up on, these kids were not average children.
Yeah.
They were High School Musical.
Yeah.
These were not.
Lie to me.
These were not.
I ain't seen the whole.
Man, you
These
gotta watch
were
it.
not your average children.
Well, they told you that how high school was and everything.
Yeah.
Thought it was gonna be pieces
You
of
get
cream.
out of school, you gotta
we
laugh
was
some
thinking
at a
in the
resort.
God.
But hey, before we leave this point right here, because I think this is a real important issue to talk about, and I'm saying that because sometimes when you even just start having this conversation, with teenagers. People like, hold on, so what you trying to say? I don't have a position one way or the other. Because some of my students who, and we talk about this in our private conversation, I got young men who come to me and say, like, well, I can tell you about these football players. And I'm like, no, you won't tell me about it. I don't want to know about it. You know what I'm saying? I want to say, at least let me, if I'm going to let you have like what you identify, let me identify as an ignorant old man who don't know like anything. You know what I'm talking about. So what I'm saying is, but I don't judge either one. You feel what I'm saying? I don't judge, but still I think it's a conversation because I would hate for one of our students who just because I accept that doesn't mean that we have an out-of-town game or something like that. Because I'm from a rural, I'm from the country. Yeah. And even though it's starting to be a little bit more acceptable, like in some places, in the country, it's not as accepted as it is, a lot of stuff is in the city.
And it's accepted here.
Yeah, to a degree, because certain places in the city, you still, at least from my vantage point, when you start getting to like midtown and stuff like that, is a whole lot more acceptable.
Can I be honest? The world don't know what to accept, because you got to think, y'all want them to accept gay people, but y'all was mad about D.W.A.P kid. So y'all pick and choose which y'all want to accept in the same category.
When you say y'all, do we mean older people versus younger people?
I don't think it was like the acceptance. I think it was like the age. Yeah, I think everybody was like, he too young.
But here's the thing.
How old was D.W.A.P's son?
He was like
12 or
something.
something.
11.
But this is my thing. One, that man accepts his child no matter what the child identifies.
Yeah.
That's the first issue. As a parent, you got to be a protector of your child no matter what you go through.
So is protecting your child and protecting their sexuality the same thing?
So let me say this, and we're going to get this disclaimer again. Okay. The views and opinions of certain things are not that of Walking with WAP podcast. This is my opinion.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
If you decide to identify as a boy, if you decide mommy, one day this is how I feel, this is what I've been feeling, I was on the fence about it, but now I'm sure. This is the route I'm taking. This is the life I'm going to live. As a parent, I would much rather learn from my child than I sit up here and I push you out and you go out here in the street and say, hey, mama. Come on here, mama.
Hey, y'all, we go. Hey, y'all, we got something coming in. I don't know what the kids. Jerry just left him post with the camera. I don't know what we got. Look at Payne. Now, Payne ain't moved the whole show. I get it.
Thank you.
Thank you for me for the kids.
Hey, she's serving like she got some bricks up in this thing. Hey, y'all, we got blocks. We got blocks up in here.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
You got popcorn, you cannot get one. That is serious.
Well, wait, it's enough in there for all y'all to share.
All the high school folks, I think grown folks, y'all must be.
No, I'm good. I'm just
Jerry, I got you right here too, Jerry.
But yeah, I mean, if you, my thing is,
we up against that last topic. We gotta still get two for one on that last.
The one thing I can commend D.W.A.P for is the fact that you loved your child no matter what.
Yeah.
That's the first thing, because it's already hard enough for them to come to you and tell you this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you still don't know what they're battling with internally. Why? Because they don't know how to talk about it. So if you're going to identify something, you got to be bold enough to come to me about it. Let me be bold enough to swallow my pride and understand where you're coming from. That ain't none of the rest of the world business.
So as a man, now I'm talking to the fellas now.
Okay.
Because what you just said right there, I guarantee if we turn these cameras off, and I talk to those brothers, that brother right there, and the other brother sitting back there. And it's not that, because this is the thing I think, y'all tell me if I'm wrong, that irks a lot of men who might be in the heterosexual community. It's almost like, if we just can't accept that from our boy, then people act like we're doing something wrong because we got a mind too. So it's almost like the heterosexual mind. We don't care what you think, Dad. But if I said I accepted my, child who claimed, that he wanted to be a part of another community, then everybody would say I was a great dad. But if I said I'm not accepting that he's only 11 years old, he's not, his frontal lobes are not even developed. I'm talking scientific right now. Yeah, that's exactly right. So it's like I'm gonna lose regardless. But so it's no different than me saying if my 11-year-old boy was actually out here snorting cocaine, I would be a great dad for saying he's not old enough to even be doing that. But if my 11-year-old boy say he want to change his sex or something like that, and I say, no, bro, you about to do that, then I'm a bad dad, then I don't understand and all this stuff. So I think as men sometimes, this is why I'm asking that question.
Well.
Yeah, so the double standard, but here's what I'm saying about the double standard though. How can it be that if a man accepts his child's sexuality, then he's doing a good job? But if me, I didn't say I'm going to put the child out the house. I didn't say that, I'm just saying, bro, I'm not ready to accept that right there for my son. And then, am I bad because I'm not ready to accept that, and the other man is good because he's ready to accept that? That's what I'm trying to go, because it seems like there's an unclear line that Dwayne Wade is like a good dad now because he accepted his son being homosexual. But another dad who might not accept that, he's still providing for his child. But that still was a shock, a trauma to him too.
Nobody said it was going to be easy.
But how you framed it, you said, well, he's there for his son. So the man who don't accept that lifestyle, he might still be there for his son.
Yeah, he still might be there.
But that's the language that people use, though, almost like the ones who don't accept it, like he's not there for his child.
Can I look at it as, do you want your son to come out to you, or you want him to hold it in? So at least you still got your son.
That's why we talking.
You still got your son.
And you all have
to. You gotta.
You know where that question should have gone, though, right? To the private. That should have gone. That was a question that I don't think anybody was ready for right now.
But these are things, that we realistically have to think about.
I think this needs to be a whole show.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I think we need to bring on like a parent going to what you just said, Coco. And I just, without the fella saying anything, I can read you guys' body like how boys are just like doing. Because like right now, even if we're not talking about father, son, if they say these are like right now, they're on my show. Y'all already know if I got Tyree, you at Southern, I got students who are openly gay that come to me all the time for advice. So imagine I get a chance to say to them though, like one of my girls on the phone, y'all remember I said the other day, white chocolate. I said white chocolate is a homosexual white girl who calls me her school dad. I was very clear with her that I don't accept that lifestyle necessarily, but guess what my entrepreneurship class was gonna do? You remember what I said we're gonna do, Tyree? Where we're gonna go and actually set up as business. I said we're going to the Pride thing.
Oh yeah.
I need y'all to get that.
You've been like.
Well, no, let me finish this thought, Tyree. Then I'll let you get it, because I want y'all to get that. I'm saying that I want to take my students to do like a bend at my entrepreneurship student. We want to go and bend that Pride. So I can bend that Pride, but that don't mean I gotta actually accept the lifestyle. I still love my friend. So I still love my classmates. I still love my students. No, that's what I'm saying. But some people though will make it like if you don't support.
This is when about street got all
Y'all, this is a totally different group right here. This nigga got cookies and girls.
lost your position because pain has completely taken
So really the producer, so the damn thing that going on, we wouldn't know how to get it back.
he still got his phone in his hand.
Oh, so he
He
can
put
go.
the phone down.
Okay.
I gave him that.
Negro came back with a bag of goodies.
For himself.
Big cookie bust.
Hey, but hey, y'all see, we're gonna do a whole nother show. I would like to have parents to join us on
I
this.
would love to do that.
So if you're a parent and you actually have dealt with this in real time, if you're a student and you might not, you feel comfortable enough because this is an environment where we're gonna protect you.
This is a safe
Tyrese,
space.
so yeah, this is a very safe space. But we need to know how you guys feel, how we should actually have this conversation where everybody feels comfortable enough to have this conversation. Tyrese, you be ready to say something.
I was going to say like I'm kind of like
We can't see those comments, can we?
I'm kind of like you, right? Like
I
I'm not a part of that lifestyle, but
Oh, yes,
I got
ma'am.
friends who I like, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So I know like when the Black Lives Matter protest was going on, me, Gerald, and another one of my friends, we had wound up going to like a protest for Pride.
Yeah.
And a lot of people was like spamming me about it, like, bro, why are you even there? Like, you know what I'm saying? I was telling them like,
Yeah, I like that.
She
it's
came
the
back
same,
again.
like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, she got another bag. Wait, let me.
Man, look, this is the only thing the downside of doing a live show. My mama come back with sodas. She coming with cookies. They coming back having some damn cotton candy out there.
Mama brought them some milk goats. Wait a minute.
Man, these Negroes drinking milk.
Talk more.
They drink milk.
Mr. Walker, she got the spoon in there, boy. Yeah, I've been destroying.
Y'all, hey, look, man, hey, can we do this? Let me grab that.
Okay,
Oh, we got quite a few
If you're a whole, we let Payne, he done came just disrupted the whole show. But somebody just said, Payne, is there any way we can pull that comment back up?
It says something about you don't have to accept it, just love them and talk to God.
But that's the conversation. That's the conversation I was saying right here. The comment says, let's see what this
Oh, that's
right here.
Deborah.
It
Hey,
says,
Deborah.
you don't have to accept anything you don't want to. Just love them and pray for them, and God will do. Yeah, that's all we're saying right there. Like, I think all of us are saying I'm gonna love my student. I'm gonna love my son. I'm gonna love, whoever. That's like if my son go to prison, I'm not loving the fact that he sold drugs, but I'm still gonna love my son.
Right.
You know what I mean? If my son decided that, hey, look, man, he joined the game. He's in jail for murder. That's still my son.
Yeah.
And if everybody else in the whole world gave up on him or whatnot, but I still don't accept the fact that he went out there and murdered somebody because we raised him better than that. So that's what I'm saying. But why, when it comes to that topic right there, I'm saying to my son, like, son, you got to work with me on that. I mean, or my daughter, whoever it is, I'm just saying, that ain't as easy for me.
It's harder when it's your son.
Yeah, for me.
It's harder when it's
exactly
your son.
right.
When it comes to the accepting part, and then y'all still got to y'all dudes or whatever, but it's just like, you don't have to accept it, but just listen and don't have don't make it an argument.
Yes.
Just listen. You ain't got to take it in. It can go in one out of there, but the fact that you let them get it off their chest,
and that's the biggest thing.
But I think another thing that ties in with that, a lot of us don't know how to have a conversation
about anything.
Yeah, we don't know how to have a conversation. So if our son was to come to us and say, like, I don't know how to say, I don't want to like say, okay, I'm gay or something like that. We want to know how to respond to that. Like, we want to know how to have actual conversation about it. We'll just straight be like, nah, it can't be. But I think it depends on the age. Because like you said, they was young. You said some didn't develop. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
the frontal lobe.
Yeah, the frontal lobe didn't develop. You'll be like, nah, you don't even know like what that side of life is yet. But like, say if I had a son, he was like, I say 15, 16, then he came out as gay. Then it's like, okay, now you really got to listen because apparently he know what he's talking about in a sense though.
Yeah.
Because this has been in his heart or in his head for a long time.
Yeah, it had to be a while.
He just wake up one day and be like, oh.
I was just saying, like, it's more, I was thinking it was more like an expectation of the parents. Like, they'll be, like, disappointed. Because I'm not a parent, as y'all know, because you and Ms. Robinson probably have, like, different feelings.
Yeah.
But, like, I was thinking in my head, like, okay, if I have a son and he come out gay, I would be kind of disappointed. Because I know I want my son to play sports, do everything I didn't do. So, I know I'll be disappointed because I won't get that experience with my son.
But here's the thing. Why do you feel like you won't get that experience? Because some of the biggest thugs.
Yeah.
But I think that's why it gets tricky right there. There's a switch hitter. So what would happen then if your son is like, let's say then he knows that his dad loves like sports and whatnot. So now he's gonna be the best quarterback and all this stuff, but he's gay. I saw a show one night. I don't know if y'all know the show. It's like this star football player, and he was like gay, and it's like these white guys, white teenagers and whatnot. And, he would always like sneak in the dressing room or something after, but he knew if his dad, who was like this alpha male, had found out about it. But he was still a star football player. And once like that guy, who he was messing with was like, I want you to come out, let everybody know that you can't quit trying to hide it or whatnot.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking
about. Let me tap into some of these comments.
Okay.
Erica said, don't compare sexuality to murder.
I know it's on Glee.
Deborah said, give them a voice. A lot of parents haven't been able to do that because of our upbringing. Erica said, gay people play sports too. H.C. Cummins. I don't know who Erica is, baby. H.C. Cummins said, why would you not get the experience? Having the ability to listen without judgment.
So let's deal with, like, we're not gonna deal with personals. You like personal, anybody as an individual. But I'm gonna ask you guys, do y'all see exactly what I'm talking about? Why? So it's almost like the other day I was talking to a friend and we were talking about Tyler Perry, right? And the person said that somebody gave her a compliment because I had to show this other adult the same thing. And she said, I hate when people compare me to Tyler Perry. I said, you haven't even established yourself yet. How do you hate to be compared to Tyler Perry and you haven't even established yourself yet? That's like the highest compliment. To say that some of the things he do, I don't agree with, like how he make us look or so on and so forth. But he has said, and I respect this about him. He has said that, hey, check this out. The industry wasn't giving me a shot, so I just created my own industry. So this person didn't want me to compare them to Tyler Perry. I'm just using it in the conversation and whatnot. So when I compare a person going to jail to a person who is gay, you can't tell me what to compare. That's why kids hate school right now. That's why we're having teen talk, because we want to be able to have this conversation where we can hear it. And when you start telling me what I can compare and what I cannot compare, because that's the heterosexual perspective, then that's where the problem comes in. Because now heterosexual kids feel like, so, and if I'm a heterosexual kid, I don't have any rights. So if I said I don't want that person coming in the bathroom, people would just say, see, you homophobic. But if a person who is on the other side says that, I'm going to go in this thing right here. So you telling me whatever they think, That is the same mindset that somebody can say, well, look, that's how I got started. My nephew who's in prison, I'm comparing right here. He didn't just start out being gay when he went to prison. I gotta make that comparison because we don't know. Just like we commit suicide, one of y'all just said, it could be like, I'm acting out as tough, joining the gang. I killed this dude because I was trying to prove that I wasn't like out there or whatnot. So my dad would think, hey, I'm representing just like, all the other dudes in my family. So when we compare y'all, we're not trying to discredit anybody. If anybody was listening to me, Ms. Robinson, I said I love my students who are heterosexual just like I love my homosexual students.
Yeah.
So when if I compare my athletes to the kids who was in like the engineering thing you guys were talking about, it's a comparison. They are both high school students.
You have some people who are so. This is a sensitive topic.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have people who are looking to misconstrue what you say.
Always.
Couple of comments. She said, "Tell him it's Miss Bravo."
Oh, I know who that is. Yeah.
And then another one, homosexuality in the African American and African community has never been accepted. It's taboo globally in our community, at least out in our community, at least it's out in the open. Erica said, Miss Bravo said murder. Deborah said, we've been taught to say what you have to say as a parent, and kids just do what we say. This is so wrong on so many different levels because sometimes we have to listen to our kids. Yeah, because kids don't do what we say nowadays. They do what you do.
Yeah.
So you have to set the examples.
I think this right here shows us though that we are going to be the voice of the community pretty soon. And it's okay, y'all. One thing about me, I think the thing that makes this a great show, just on show 2, I'm okay. I've been in the public and I'm okay with fighting. It's like you being an advocate or whatnot. If you're scared to have your reputation tarnished out here because you're asking questions, then you should be doing it.
Right.
Because there's going to be somebody on both sides of the conversation. If you notice, I'm trying to surgically ask the questions because I know that sometimes it gets taken out of context. And I'm just asking those, because I am a heterosexual male just like him. And once he said that, like, I feel like my son just won't play sport. That's the only thing I know as a man. So he's not saying my son can't play sports. He's just saying, I'm sitting here. And if y'all notice, he said, I'm sitting here thinking about it. I've been thinking about this. So he didn't just jump out and just blurt out some homophobic comment. I've been thinking about this. Right now, if I had a daughter, and she went to the prom and she was dressed in a suit or whatnot. So like you said, I'll be sitting here like, hey, man, why you look dressed at I thought you were going to wait. I've been waiting on this your whole school career for your senior, the expectation. So that's what I'm talking about. So if y'all feel it as young people, and conditioning. So maybe we need to just, I don't know where we go with this besides saying we need to have like a broader conversation where people stop. If that's your lifestyle, then we're not saying we don't agree with it. We're just saying let's have a real conversation where we're not always making it about one side is right and the other side is wrong. Help me to understand. And I will let you guys get.
So we can all be on the same page.
Yeah. So I had a student, y'all, and I can say this. I wish I could just say his name. I got 2 students from Tri-Cities. One of them, because y'all see how much he loves me and know that there's no judgment, we were on one night. My brother and I, we were upstairs. He was just like, man, you always were my favorite teacher, whatnot. Now, it looks like a full-fledged, beautiful sister. And I'm just saying, what school did I teach you at? And he said, like, oh, no, man, like, you used to always get on me or whatnot, because I always, always talk about how I talk. And after a while, I started piecing together. I said, boy, if I didn't know any better, I was thinking such and such and such, but how did you get? I don't know her though. And at the end, here's what he said. He always tell me that just because I'm speaking the King's English or whatever. I said, hold on. I said, look, man. I said, I'm going to ask you one question. And I said, is this such and such? And he said, yes, it's here. It didn't change how I saw him. No. But it was a joke. He and I, we laughed about it. But imagine me saying he and I, and somebody listened to this show saying, well, there it is. I don't know the rules of engagement. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. But that person right there didn't say anything was wrong with what I said, but somebody else though would take that and twist it as if I'm not respecting that lifestyle. That's exactly right.
That plays into play with people not mind their own business either. Don't want to speak up for other people, but the other person is not offended. If the person don't show you they're offended,
and if that person, and mind you, watch this right here. If I start laughing and he started laughing, so watch this. So then watch this though. His classmate, when it was really going on, because this student right here wasn't opening it like that. Now he's or whatever, I don't know if he identifies as what, but I'm saying now, he and I, we still friends on social media. We still plug. If I put something on my social media now, if he sees this show, he probably gonna say, preach, Mr. Walker. Because he knows that I would never judge any of my students, right? So another one of my students though, y'all, I felt like this was like one of my greatest honors as an educator. He came to me, right? He was a cheerleader at Tri-City. He came to me and he just said, man, I just want to ask you if you're going to speak. We got this gay, group, young teenagers or whatnot. You remember I told you this, so I can't make this stuff up, Alex. He said, I feel like when I came to you and I told you about this, I know that this is not like what you agree with. This is not your lifestyle. He said, but I've never had anybody make me feel as comfortable, talking about this. Did y'all see what he said? He said, I know you don't agree with my lifestyle, but I've never had anybody make me feel this comfortable. And he said, so you'll better understand what happened to me, how I ended up here. It wasn't like I was 11 years old. He said, no, it had nothing to do with that. He gave me a book by E. Lynn Harris. Let me say that to everybody out there. A book by E. Lynn Harris. I had seen that book before on the table. Y'all know how your sisters and stuff be reading this stuff. And this is what I said to him. So I need this boy to think this is what I said to him. It was no judgment. I said, bro, when I saw the book, I said, man, I tried to read the first 3 pages of that book. I couldn't even read the first 3 pages. He just said, Ms. Walker, I need you to read this so you understand how I got here. See, everything once some kid just woke up one day and then, this kid, when I read that stuff, I felt honored that he gave me that because I never could have understood that situation without him trusting me. And y'all notice I wasn't judging. I don't understand that lifestyle. So he gave me permission to be an advocate, and I went to speak out, with a group of gay kids. I had never been in a room, at least to my knowledge, and they welcomed me with open arms because I was honest, but I also was not judgmental.
But you are 0.0001%.
Zero.
To a lot of these students.
Yes.
Of the amount of people who are willing to listen.
Yeah.
Try to understand. I ain't say you gotta accept it.
Yeah.
I ain't saying you gotta write a book on it, but you're attempting to understand to help this kid to get through whatever it is they're going through so they can be comfortable in knowing who they are.
So isn't it good, y'all, that you guys get a chance to come and share, even though it's because we don't really be paying attention to what's going on out there.
Nah.
It's like we just sitting here laughing.
It's
a round table discussion. Then y'all might say something cool you gotta leave it to you. They don't even really know what's going on. But
they did that the whole spring break to me, and I'm just like, I really don't like y'all.
So we got time for one more topic. What was that last topic, y'all? We got one time. We got one. Alex, we got time for one more topic. One more topic. We missed something. What did we miss, y'all? We kind of touched on games.
Drugs. You touched on everything.
We didn't do drugs.
Yes, you touched on it. It was a combination of that.
Peer pressure.
Sure did. We didn't go specific like what she did.
Yeah.
But hey, just without us going back into that thing, can I ask y'all a question? Because you guys are growing with us. It's like now the crew is growing together. Like the Walking with Walk crew and the Walking with Walk Team Talk crew.
They had Walk Ready to Smoke Newport stuff.
Yeah, hey man.
If y'all see the picture that he posted,
Somebody came on there. I think some of the people think I'm really smoking. Somebody said you on the salt pack. I'm like, hey.
Look, sort it on.
I go back on that post there, y'all. Y'all got a little joke between the crew right here. Hey, imagine me come to school, we go back on Monday, y'all smile like, hey, well, hey.
I got some.
I don't think we're supposed to do this right here.
I froze and everything for you. Here you go.
Hey, be at the school Miss Boy, I think they're like, hey, Walt, take that boy, hey, Bill. I want to show you.
Why did they do that? Please, somebody enlighten me.
Yeah, but wait, baby.
It looks like the little paper. It looks like the little clip thing. It loosened it up.
Yeah. Hey, matter of fact, let me get a new phone.
I don't smoke.
So, hey, what we did last time, man, we want all of you guys. This right here, we're up on time, but since we started a little late, I think we still got a few minutes. That's what it is. We got a few minutes. So let me say this right here. This is so interesting to me. And what's interesting to me, I want you guys to go ahead and start developing tough skin. Because sometimes you're gonna find yourself, there are plenty of people on my social media who I have blocked because we cannot have certain conversations or whatnot. And I just know I'm not gonna, every time I say something, what you're not gonna do is start trolling my page just because we don't agree on something.
Weirdo.
It's kind of like right now, if you don't like the Atlanta Falcons, you don't have to get on my page every time they lose. But hey, nobody knows who your team is. So I'm gonna compare this to what I'm talking about when folks get sensitive. It's okay for you to talk about my team, the Georgia Bulldogs. You know all my teams, the Georgia Bulldogs, Atlanta Falcons, Atlanta Braves, Atlanta Hawks. I don't know who your teams are.
Facts.
But whenever we lose, because you know I'm real serious about mine. I know DJ 271 real serious about this thing. But you get on my page and we don't even know who your teams are. And once I find out who your teams are, and I go hard, you know, I go hard once I know who your teams are. Don't come back hard. People get upset. It's like, no, dude, you do this to everybody. And then we got those people who jump teams every year. Hey, man, hey, check this out, bro. I'm going to tell you like this. I've been with Tampa Bay. No, you haven't. Nobody has been with Tampa Bay for the last 20 years. You know what I mean?
Who was Tampa Bay?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So what I'm saying is, I think you guys have created an environment.
You're Tom Brady.
And Ms. Robinson, Ms. Boyd Thick, I thank you for creating this space where our teams can talk. So if we can, man, I want to just do what we did. I think we closed out last time by letting all of them give us something.
We did.
Can I go first?
You got a question for him?
Okay. Yeah.
We got an answer. I'm about to say, well, my favorite part.
Hold on. Let's grab the mic. Let's grab the mic right quick, brother.
Oh, well, here you go.
Wait,
We
I think
passing
this
one or
thing-
two?
We're taking past one.
Okay, cool.
I mean, if that's okay with you.
I'm not boss, it's your show.
Right about now, Jerry, I might be in trouble with all the ladies out here. Hey, why y'all know how the ladies are? Did y'all see how the really motivated?
Why he just told her not to grab Mike?
Like just this.
Hey, they know that his hand one down was like that. Like,
It goes back to having tough skin. I am not easily offended.
And how people be sensitive
but
about
I think
So they go,
yeah,
but I'm not.
yeah, but think about it. It's not about being tough, like because me and you and I, we is.
Come on, run this game like I know you
we
can.
is.
Come
You know
on.
what I'm saying? We is all we got. Right now, there's some Negro who think I can't talk. Who said, "He just said we is."
Yup.
Yeah, and sometimes we do that sometimes because we want to make sure everybody know that we is. Because if you had South Atlanta and somebody say, "Mr. Walker, check this out, man, we is gonna kick their butt tonight."
We
See,
is.
that- we is.
That's the severity of
Yeah,
the situation.
yeah.
So right now we is gonna eat these popcorn. Not popcorn, we is gonna
We
eat
did.
these popcorn.
And then
And it's cooking.
she about ate her whole bag.
But you know,
My bad,
But
gone.
I'm trying to see if you was gonna
but
show
look
it.
here, Jared has eaten his bag. Tyrese, we're gonna start out with you, Miss Born Thick. We're gonna bring the thing around all the way.
Wait,
And
is it
you
a
just do
question
your
or-
thing. No, you can just start out.
You go first.
I'll go first.
Now this right here, hold on one
No,
second.
you want to go?
Robbie just said, Robbie just deduced this thing down to I don't want to go last. And everybody inferred that Robbie was saying that he wants to go first.
When he
Robbie,
spoke
where do you want to fall in there, Robbie?
Robbie got a fan.
First.
I mean, I guess.
He said Robbie got a
You go
fan
first.
club.
He got a fan.
I gotta say,
Oh, Robbie got a
Uh-huh. Her name's Starla. Starla.
yeah, my
Oh.
Starla, we
Still a
checking
fan?
in. That's
Still a
exactly
fan?
right. Starla, make sure you share Walking with Walt podcast because your older sister lied to us the other day. So please, share that. Yeah.
His oldest
Hey,
sister
but we
followed
bet with
him.
Kira the long way these days. But we do know she would lie for her brother. And had me swear. I bought 2 bags of Newports that Kira got on there.
You know what?
So, Robbie, just tell us, man, and tell all these adults out here. Are we good? Tell all the adults out here who are listening that right about now, none of this stuff is scripted.
No.
We don't know what's going to come out your mouths or whatnot. We would never do anything to make this space unsafe, not only for the people who are physically in the room, but we wouldn't make it unsafe for the parents out there. But sometimes we're going to disagree on some things and disagree agreeably.
Mhm.
So, Robbie, what would you say is like your biggest takeaway, and what would you like parents and educators and adults, worldwide, because this thing is going to blow up pretty soon.
Right.
And I'm telling you, what would you like them to take away from having a chance to at least be in a space with teenagers who can tell them the truth? Like, what would be like, what is your biggest takeaway from these 2 experiences so far? And what do you want to be like your lasting legacy with Teen Talk? Do you see it kind of like going somewhere, still bringing other guests on?
Yeah, we got a lot of potential. We keep giving out honesty, being
So you
transparent.
put the mic in your hand, not to talk.
Oh no, I didn't know if it was on.
Yeah.
Don't do that because I'm doing the same thing.
I just want to say thank you for the feedback. I want to thank everybody for their feedback. When I was giving my opinion with the
Yeah, about if you was a dad and you didn't know.
with the disappointment and the expectations, they gave me some feedback. Usually I don't get that very often. So getting y'all feedback, that's very supportive. And I get to actually think about how other people feel about my feedback. And like I was saying, we got a lot of potential. Y'all keep tuning in. Other ways that we got a lot more stuff to talk about.
Right.
And yeah, this is how I feel.
Good stuff. I like that. I like that.
All right, so
It seems like when that microphone gets in your hand, everybody
It
think
make
go
me
play.
nervous.
Like we, hey, Rob, it's like we didn't know the microphone was gonna come to us.
It's on. They can hear you tapping it.
Oh, my bad, viewers. But what I was
Like you got a commercial for us.
what I was gonna say, so yeah, like my biggest takeaway from this is like what I want you all to realize. If we was to roll this back, you seen that I sat back and I was just listening to Mr. Walker and Miss Born Thick over there. You know, I was just listening.
He loves
like,
Wednesday,
yeah,
bro.
you got two different perspectives on the same situation. It's like I'm not really knowledgeable about that, so I just sat back and I was listening, but I still had opinions though. Like Rob was saying, it still made me think about the stuff. So I was thinking before I spoke. When I actually spoke, you just gotta listen because like if we speak about something, we actually thought about it, and it's like Rob was saying, we got a lot of potential, man. Like this not scripted at all. Like this coming from like 100% the mind and the heart. So it's like if you keep tuning in, you're gonna keep learning like the inside the team's mind because it's team talk. So yeah.
Most of the stuff we've been holding in. So
Yeah, we've been holding this in. So like now we got
platform.
Yeah.
Let it out.
Stop it.
I'm done.
We need a platform. No, I don't need a platform.
Right.
It's like now we got the platform and like if y'all keep listening, like it's gonna better the community and like Mr. Walker said, we're gonna global. So yeah.
Can you ask them to share this? Because a lot of times people will make their own individual comments to us, but this is stuff that we want parents to be involved,
Right.
and we're okay with the comments. I don't want anybody to think like if they say anything to us that we got a problem with. I love what Robbie just said. Don't you know I go back and read every single comment that's on the screen? I know you know that. I go back and read everyone and I try to engage it or whatnot. And sometimes it's something that somebody might say like, well, why did you compare this to that? But let me try to see if I can empathize and step into why they think I said that. That doesn't mean they're going to change, but let me see like what would that person think? What did they think I was implying? Or did they think I was offended? So when Robbie just said, because I'm saying this because this is mature, he said, I appreciate their feedback. See, they might think, oh, look at that boy right there. When I said this right here, you look at his face expression. And then now you feel bad when you go back and hear him come out the show and say, no, I thank you for your feedback. Because this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to have a real conversation that grown folks and teenagers, because right now, if right now, it got to be tough for you. Because we don't know what Coco is going to say.
No.
And she might say some stuff on the air.
She's verbal.
But no, I'm saying we don't know. So like a lot of times, you notice how I tell her like, hold on, let her go ahead and say what she wants to say.
How all of us look at her.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was them beans be hitting me when she say whatever she gonna say. They look at me like, oh, John.
Now we got the private chat. So we want to say some stuff. Payne got the camera that's right here. We can put whatever we want in the private chat.
We got this good old ring light up in here tonight. They're like,
we
bright.
stepped our game up, bro.
Yeah,
I
but
should have seen the other one way back.
That thing was holler too.
Candy guy.
Y'all be here.
Hey, if you don't want to go to hell, you gotta smell it a little bit. You gotta smell like we must be like 3 acres away from hell right now. I mean, you literally can smell it burning. You got something else?
oh yeah, like you said, like share it because I think why sharing it like y'all gonna help us, help y'all, help us. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
That's all I gotta say.
That's how you market like that.
Why you gotta go with me? Why can't go with
Yeah,
me?
she got a whole cookie in her mouth.
Doesn't even matter.
So yeah, I agree with what both of y'all just said. Y'all just went crazy.
I hate about high school students. High school students always.
I know, right? We used to that in class.
Yeah. I agree
Like she
with
just
that.
said, and then somebody else
Yeah,
said,
no.
and then, no, I
Yeah,
just
we
know what
really
you
don't
gotta say.
know.
But what they said.
So put it in your own word.
Right.
No, I'm just saying. I mean,
Right.
But nah, like I appreciate y'all like just being open to listen and learn. And then like they said, ain't nothing scripted, so it really be like our real opinions. Sometimes we don't even know what we're gonna say. It like be like us just talking like. And it's not like we know y'all there, but we don't really know y'all there. Like, yeah, you be forgetting. Like it'd be like, oh, it's just a real conversation. Like us just talking. Like we don't talk how we be talking when y'all don't be here, but it'd be like somewhat. So I just appreciate y'all listening, tuning in, continue to do that, share. I feel like we got a lot more to say. We ain't NWA, but we gone.
You know what?
I like that.
Like how you slip that in
Yeah,
there.
I like that. I like that. You know that? She's like, yeah.
So what he said.
That's it. I'm trying to see some pausing on this thing. Everybody just talking like Rob was over there. When we had the microphone over here, he like had the microphone. That joke right here said, yeah, we got a whole lot more. So Coco got the mic with Tyree, all he did like that. Coco was like, yeah, man, I saw that. It's almost like the Easter speech getting ready to come and like, God, I forgot everything.
What's the first sentence?
Like, this is the go-to speech though. If you forget. I'm 12 years old and I can't even say it. Happy Easter Day, everybody. I just want to check. I know there might be something on that microphone.
My takeaway would be how vocal we are.
Yeah.
And it's like we said, nothing is scripted, and we taking the comments and giving our honest feedback and taking the feedback in as well. And it's like these are actual conversations that go on in people's houses that don't know how to conversate with each other.
I like that.
So it's like
that's what he was talking about. Like most people can't even sit here.
Yeah.
So people should be happy that we got 4 teens and 2 adults who are willing to have this. So it almost like we gotta be a part of this. Because sometimes he just said this, and I want you to feel it because you just set this up. Hey man, I'm glad that we can say this, and we got you. Because even though we're adults, her perspective a lot of times is totally different than my perspective. So people get a chance to see us in this little fishbowl or whatnot. We're not like some of these shows on TV where they script like, oh, now y'all finna start, like throwing stuff at each other. No, ain't nobody throwing nothing in here. You know what I'm saying? So we want to make sure that you guys are being real. And I want it to be to the point, Tyrese, that we come in and all we get a chance to do, if y'all say, hey, this show right here, when we need a little support, we just go and point at it. But we want to just kind of take over because these views we're gonna have today might go totally against everything y'all agree, like whatever y'all feel as parents and adults. So we're gonna just step out. And I mean, Alex, what did I tell them earlier? I want y'all to get to that point. But I do want to make sure we're still, even though we're not on camera, I want to make sure we're close enough where if y'all start getting, because people will start bullying you on this day.
They will.
I'm telling y'all might not know this. DJ 271, you do this right here. There are cyber bullies out here. And so y'all talking about this stuff about how people get bullied about their sexuality. I've seen people bully folks about comments. I had a girl to bully me one day, man, on here from 11 o'clock that day to 11 o'clock that night. Anybody who made a comment on my page, she came here. Y'all think he this or that or whatnot. And I had people who just like really about that life, that chain gang life, who coming in my inbox saying, bro, hey, what she at? She said something about this state right here. Bro, I got people out there, man. We can go ahead and no. I'm not giving her the energy. I blocked this person. This person actually started coming from their child's page. See, I want to get it. And this is a professional. Hey, Coco, no. I'm telling y'all, I need them to understand though. It ain't just about no doggone sexuality. If you don't agree with some people on certain things, and Alex, the only thing I said was to the person I'm talking about, man, GTFOH. Like whatever you said. And when I said that,
please don't.
That person right there is set them off. And check this out. So I'm saying to you guys, if a grown person who's a professional did that to me, and she even put her phone number and her email on there saying, bro, if you want, hey, you need to holler at me, this is my number right here. And then she made one comment where she said, brother, hey, look, I think she's unstable and she's a counselor.
Aggressive with it.
Yes, but then, after she said that, she said, if I see you out there, hey, bro, I'll do this. And I said, hey, all right, Bill, let me tell you something. You might want to ask some people about me before all this walking with
Walk and all that. You can't
yeah,
ask
but I had
you guys, Mr. Walk, you guys.
Yeah. But I'm saying that to say this person who's a counselor supposed to be looking out for young people. This person posted her number, her email said this, but then she flipped out after she said that, came back and said, if I see you out there, I do this. And then came back and said, bro, holler at me. You know, man, we from the same. I think she's unstable.
Yeah, you gotta be, because you're doing too much.
But that person, though, it started just like this. So I'm saying we gotta be cautious. DJ 271, when we see certain things, we might have to just delete it because somebody start coming for them. Now they can come for us. I'm just be honest with you. You can come for us, but I'm not letting them come for the teens. Y'all get what I'm saying, right? Not that you guys can't handle yourself, but I'm not gonna let anybody come on Teen Talk and come for the team. Man, I'm okay with my character. I know what I do. I know how hard I go. And anybody, as a matter of fact, Tyrese, I just saw one of our former students, who I love to death. It's just like, I wish sometimes we could bring like the adults, the young men who we work with and the young women we work with who are adults. We might have to do that one time, y'all. Bring some young adults who might have gone to school with you guys and let them say like, bro, you can't know Walker, you can't know Mitch Robinson, you can't know Coco. Like for real, y'all, like the stuff we're talking about, we're just learning how to have conversation.
Yeah. So
we're getting a chance to learn how to have conversation right here before America. And that's what I love about what you just said, Coco. So Coco, if you had to just come back,
I was like, you're bumming America.
America. Baby girl got something to say, man. Take it home, baby girl.
But yeah, everything it is what it is. And we all learning with each other. And the conversation we're having, if you don't know how to start a conversation, take how we started the conversation and have it in your house. Hey man, it all work out at the end of the day. You have a conversation, just getting the conversation started.
That's the hard part.
That's the hard part.
That's the hard part. So when it go, it's like it go. But when you get it started, you got somewhere. You'll accomplish something.
I like
Yeah.
that. This boy, they play to your mama.
Oh, your microphone. I
Oh,
got
she got her own little mic. Look how she
Come
got.
on, Mike. I ain't got to
Y'all
touch
see,
that.
y'all see how the co-host trying to show out. We got, look, we didn't put that private shit up there for him, baby. Oh, so you just gonna show out on her like that?
Oh, I got these, bro.
Okay.
No, but seriously though, I can really and truly appreciate the honest opinions of the kids. Even when it comes to my daughter, I try to have an open line of communication. Now, as a parent, I still have to be a parent, but I would much rather listen to my child to have an understanding. No matter where I choose to go with my decision, I would much rather listen to you guys so we'll know and understand. In the event something goes left, you at least know what happened. You know what I'm saying? This is a platform for parents and kids who don't feel like they can communicate, or with any adult for that matter.
Yeah.
Y'all generation is way different. We couldn't say much, but if I had the outlet that you all have, I really feel like the thoughts that I had in my mid to late teens, even in my 20s and my 30s, would have been completely different from where they have been. At you know what I'm saying? Because like you said in the first episode with you guys, you telling me no, but why are you telling me no? But I can't ask you why, because I'm gonna get knocked in my mouth.
You should say that. That's deep.
You see what I'm saying?
That's deep.
So it's like, I know if I touch the stove, okay, the stove hot. I clearly understand why you telling me no on that. My hand gonna get burnt.
Yeah.
But if you telling me no, I can't go to the mall with my friends, why are you telling me no, I can't go to the mall? What's the worst that can happen at the mall? Well, nowadays, the worst that can happen in the mall is you stand in the food court, somebody gonna start blasting in the food court.
With what you said, that kind of goes to like me making a comparison, you know, like the comment that was made. And I'm just saying, like, sometimes the comparison might not seem like it makes sense, but I think that comment she just made will be like the comment I made about somebody going to jail and somebody, you know, like being homosexual. I wasn't trying to compare to say one was better or worse. Kind of like saying the food court in the mall. Hold on, how you gonna compare somebody going to the food court to the mall to somebody stealing somebody stole in prison? It's still the same. You know what I'm saying? Even though we're in the mall, that person, I'm comparing like how somebody might be like, hey, bro, he just walked up to this dude in the food court in the mall and took his pizza. Yeah, just like when you're in prison, he just walked up to bro in prison and just took his stove. You know what I'm saying? And took his plate or whatnot. So, yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Your stove, though, like in prison, you know, your parents just sent you this money or whatnot. You bought your your commissary. And then all of a sudden, folks are saying like, man, your stove just got took. And you might not get money again for a whole week. But now some people see that as no different than going to even Lennox now. They're talking about cats rolling up in Lennox like 20 million worth.
Yeah, they got it.
That's right. So when I'm comparing, I think that your example was excellent. So when we were growing up, going to the mall was like one of the safe places you could go.
Yeah.
Now it's and then even like when we were older, going to Lennox Mall, you know, even if you didn't go to Greenbrier,
If you were able to catch the train to Lennox, you were doing something.
That's right.
Tell you.
Y'all don't even want us up there anymore.
But why do y'all keep running where people don't want you?
I don't.
Go where you were celebrated, not tolerated.
But if you
I
look
think
at
I-
Lennox, let's be for real. Lennox
Oh yeah,
is
she
not-
brought one in. Oh, your mama just finished the ball.
Go where you celebrated, not tolerated.
HBCU.
They tolerate you because you spend the money.
See you again.
I
Haven't seen you since I don't know it. Everybody
right there.
we are the Hornet marching band.
Yeah.
We are the best in the land. But then I got two Hornets though. I got the best of both worlds. I got South Atlanta Hornets. Hey, check this out. We got the South Atlanta Hornets and I got Alabama State University Hornets. So I'm a Hornet all the way. I'm just all the way
Yeah, you
through.
are. You ASU and South Atlanta. Yeah.
I got to sign that contract though. I might not be a Hornet. I can sign my little contract. I'm gonna let y'all know. Y'all don't see me as South Atlanta.
We want to thank you for tuning into
No, I forgot to sign. No, I don't mind. We keeping it real on here. Hey, if they don't send me a new contract, me and DJ 271 gonna be full time out here in these streets and whatnot. But hey, let me just tell y'all this right here, man. I want to make sure you guys remember we got the Trayvon Walker jersey. If we didn't get 44 people, we're looking for 44 new followers at Walking with Walt Podcast on Facebook as well as on Instagram, right? So we're looking for our new followers. We're looking for 44 new followers on Facebook and Instagram. We need young people out here because I think a lot of times we give young people a chance to have a platform like these guys so eloquently said. And young people feel like, well, I don't want to watch, even though they know it's something they need to be watching. This is like the new teen summit right here, you guys. If
Somebody
you
put that in the chat.
Yeah, this is the new teen summit right here. Well, we're not trying to be ratchet. We want to make sure that kids have a chance to have a voice. All my adults out there, please know Miss Born Thick and myself, the realest motivator and eternal educator, aka Mr. Awaken the Genius. We okay, y'all. We're gonna say some things sometimes that might ruffle some feathers, but it's all in love. These young people in the stage right here, they know we would never do anything that doesn't celebrate our youth. We would never do anything that would make them feel like we are judging them. But we do have to say what we have to say sometimes. We might just don't agree on some things, but we're tolerant and we're open to learning. That's why we're having the teen talk right here. So make sure y'all follow us again at Walking with Walk podcast. Every other Wednesday, we will have teen talk. So that means today is the 14th. We will be back with teen talk on the 28th. I'm hoping that the people who we'll have on next week, the 21st, Alex, it's about to be off the chain. We got Bob Mackey, man, who just made a post the other day. Big Bob Mackey, though, was talking about how street cred seemed to be more important than people getting an education. You know how now was so Bob Mackey, I'm putting this thing out here in these streets right here. Me and Miss Born Thick, we coming in. I'm gonna be on the good cigar, man. I'm gonna be on that Perdomo 20th anniversary. I'm gonna be fired up. Might have me a new boy on the side, y'all. She got her Tatianas over there, gonna be smelling all good. But hey, we're saying next week topic, y'all, it's gonna be a springboard from this topic. It's gonna be a perfect springboard from what, excuse me, Robert. It's gonna be a perfect springboard from what we just talked about this week. All the things that the teens talked about. And we're gonna come in as grown men, though. Yeah. And if you're a woman out there, you want to talk about how, I mean, as I'm saying, a guest. I don't know if there's a guest that came in. Y'all see the problem? Hey, y'all. I wish y'all could see the damn thing up here. I apologize. We got something called a private chat. Y'all see this? So we sexuality ain't even the hell. That's the least of my concern. I'm about this woman here. Every time we got to end on a good note.
We always end on a good note.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
How different women and men think. She said, I'm sitting here telling you we ain't ending on a good note.
But see, here's the thing between you
Why
and I.
you want to tell me about how we ending on a good note?
No. Here's the thing between you and I can do it, but I ain't gonna let nobody else come in and do it too.
I bet y'all heard that. Miss Born Thick, a.k.a. Do Dirty, boy. She do dirty. You come back and walk, boy. Yeah, whatever you want to. Big Jared back there. Y'all can't see Big Jared. Big Jared, boy. Hey, Big Jared ready to, hey, but we say train to go. TTG, Big Jared train to go, baby. All the way out Cleveland Mountain. Then you got pain out there. But we didn't know what side of the city pain from. You'll never know when you'll see pain. I know Payne called sick busting when he was at there. I'm like, dude, you leave to get to school at 4:30 in the morning. Hell, where you going? Man, Payne was selling incense at the 5 Point place. Hey, y'all. But anyway, now we get ready to start. Miss Born Thick, I would just leave everybody with this right here, man. Everybody who is affiliated with this program, man. I heard David Shan say something on his I think it was called his morning meetup. If y'all don't know who David Shan is, he has the Sleepers for Suckers, and he's also doing Social Proof. And I heard David Shan say 3 things today that if you're out here, he said you want to make sure that you highlight your expertise. My expertise is I know how to awaken the genes in black boys and black girls, or young black men and young black women. So this right here is my expertise. I have done this for 20-something years. I'm just kind of going to what he's talking about. He said, then help somebody. I'm not just helping the young people. We're helping anybody who's out here trying to figure out what's going on in the minds of young people right here. And if I want to know what's going on, I got a crew right here. And they are like a microcosm of the community. And if we can't just get it through them, everybody in this room might not a gang bang, but you heard what Robin said. Robin said, I got homeboys who bang. Yeah. I got students who bang. And I got students who will rise up if I need them, to rise up. And we're not trying to get them to go there, but they love us so much because we don't judge them as a gangbanger. We are just somebody here to help them out. And the last thing David said, what have you produced? Well, all you need to see is my DJ back in the back. He's my producer. He's my graphic artist. He is, man, my little brother. He's all those things right there. So when you ask, what am I producing or what is Miss Born Thick producing? We're producing the next generation of podcasts. We're producing the next generation of doctors. We're producing the next generation of politicians. We're producing the next generation of photographers. So that's what we're doing right here, man. My name is Keenan Walker, the realest motivator, eternal educator, a.k.a. Mr. Awaken the Genius. So you have seen another episode, part deuce. Man, we are talking about Walking with Walk podcast with Miss Bonsick, Mr. Waking the Cheese, and the crew.
So now, don't forget, follow, like, share.
Yeah. Think that you saw my
We already took that.
I'm trying to.